Listen to me. 2026 is not waiting for you. Your goals are not waiting. Your dreams are not waiting. And life is not slowing down so you can catch your breath. You say you want success. You say you want a new life. You say you want change. But the moment discomfort shows up, the moment the pressure hits, the moment the journey gets hard, you start whining. Oh, but it's too hard. Oh, but I'm tired. Oh, but I don't see results. Oh, but nobody supports me. Stop whining. Stop giving energy to excuses. Stop feeding your struggle more than you feed your purpose. Hear me. Your breakthrough is not behind your complaints. It's behind your push. You whining about the weight, but you're not lifting it. You whining about the distance, but you're not running it. You whining about the pain, but you're not using it. Pain is not your enemy. Comfort is. Comfort is a silent killer of every dream you got. 2026 is the year you stop negotiating with your greatness. This is the year you stop acting like you got 10 extra years to get serious. This is the year you stop playing with opportunities like you get unlimited chance. I need you to hear what I'm telling you. When your why is big enough, your whining disappears. When your purpose is clear enough, your fears shrink. When your hunger gets strong enough, your excuses die. You can't cry and climb at the same time. You can't complain and conquer at the same time. You can't pout and progress at the same time. You gotta choose. You either stay the same or you push. Push when you don't feel like it. Push when you don't see results. Push when nobody believes in you. Push when your mind tells you you're not enough. Because every time you push, you get stronger. Every time you push, you move forward. Every time you push, you break the version of you that kept you stuck. Listen, greatness ain't pretty. Greatness is not convenient. Greatness is not comfortable. Greatness has a price. And the currency is grit, commitment, sacrifice, and consistency. You can't buy greatness with shortcuts. You can't win success. You gotta own it. You gotta fight for it. You gotta push for it even when everything in you says to quit. Stop whining. Stop waiting. Stop wishing. Stop wishing. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your year. 2026 is not gonna give you anything, but it will give you everything if you push. So get up. Lock in. Focus up. Stop crying. Stop complaining. Stop making excuses and push. Push until the door opens. Push until the door opens. Push until the fear breaks. Push until the doubt dies. Push until the dream becomes real. Your future is on the other side of pressure. Your destiny is on the other side of discipline. Your success is on the other side of the push. Stop whining and push. Complaining doesn't move you forward. Action does. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but it is one of the most powerful truths you will ever internalize. The reason most people stay stuck is not because they're incapable, not because they're incapable, not because life is unfair, not the ability or the potential. They stay stuck because they spend their energy on the wrong things. You only get so much energy in a day. You only get so much focus, so much attention, so much emotional bandwidth. And when you pour those limited resources into complaining, into negativity, into frustration, into blaming circumstances instead of building solutions, you drain the very fuel you need to move forward. Complaining is like rocking in a rocking chair. It gives you activity, it gives you movement, it gives you something to do, but you go absolutely nowhere. You're working your mouth, you're working your emotions, you're working your thoughts, but you're not changing anything in your real world. You're not altering your habits. You're not improving your discipline. You're not building your skill set. You're not opening doors, and you're not rising to the next level. You're doing everything except what matters. And the most dangerous thing about complaining is that it feels like release. It feels like you're addressing the problem when all you're really doing is repeating it. You're feeding the wound instead of healing. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute you could have spent acting. Every moment you spend talking about what's wrong is a moment you could have spent fixing what's wrong. Every second you waste saying, I can't, I wish, I hate, I'm tired, I'm stressed. Why me? Is a second that could have been used to say, what can I do next? What step can I take? How can I grow from this? How can I move forward? Each takes courage. And that's why complaining feels easier. Complaining allows you to avoid responsibility. Complaining lets you sit in the passenger seat of your own life and blame the driver, even when the driver is you. You have to understand that life responds to actions, not emotion. Life doesn't pay you for feeling upset. Life doesn't reward you for talking about how hard things are. Life doesn't change just because you want it to. Life changes because you do something. You get up earlier. You sacrifice. You work when you don't feel like it. You study when your friends are out having fun. You train when your body wants to quit. You push through when your mind tells you to back off. That's when doors open. That's when opportunity, strength is built. That's when strength is built. Complaining is like standing at the bottom of a staircase and yelling about how high the steps are. You can sit there all day explaining how tired you are, how unfair it is, how you shouldn't have to climb them, how someone else had fewer steps, how someone else had more support. But none of those words will lift your foot. None of those excuses will elevate. Complaints don't turn into progress. Only steps do. People who rise in life are not people with easy lives. They're not people who never feel pain. They're not people who never get discouraged. They're people who get up anyway. They're people who replace complaints with solutions. They're people who take the hit, feel the weight, acknowledge the struggle, but still choose to take one more step. And that's what separates the average from the extraordinary. Not talent, not luck, not privilege, action, discipline, movement. There are people who have gone through situations far harder than yours, with far fewer resources, far less support, far more obstacles. And yet they made it. Why? Because they didn't spend their days describing the mountain. They climbed it. They climbed it. They didn't point at the storm. They walked through. They didn't talk about how tired they were. They kept walking until they reached the destination. Somewhere out there is a person with less talent, less knowledge, less opportunity, less time, and fewer advantages than you is outperforming you simply because they refuse to complain and they insist on acting. Every complaint is a brick in a wall you build around your own progress. Every complaint is self-sabotage disguised as self-expression. When you complain, you're teaching your mind that you are powerless. You're teaching yourself that you're a victim. You're teaching yourself that the world owes you something. But when you take action, even a small action, you teach yourself that you are in control. You teach yourself that change is possible. You teach yourself that movement is an option. You shift from powerless to powerful because action creates momentum, and momentum creates belief. When you start acting instead of complaining, you realize something incredible. Most of the things you thought were impossible were just unfamiliar. Most of the things you fear were simply things you hadn't tried yet. Most of the barriers you talked about were built in your mind, not in the world. And the moment you take action, those barriers start to crumble. You realize you're stronger than you thought. You're more capable than you believed. You're more resilient than you realized. But you only discover this when you stop giving your voice to your weaknesses and start giving your effort to your strengths. You discover this when you stop explaining why you can't and start proving that you can. But start proving that you discover this when you stop living in the problem and start living in the solution. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. Every complaint you make is a vote for the person you're trying to leave behind. Think about how much time you've lost complaining in your life. Think about the opportunities you missed because you were too busy describing the obstacle instead of attacking it. Think about the days you wasted feeling sorry for yourself instead of fighting for yourself. Instead of fighting for the nights you spent venting to others instead of investing in yourself. Complaining costs you your future. It costs you your momentum. It costs you your peace and your progress. Action is uncomfortable. Action requires effort. Action demands responsibility. But action builds your life brick by brick. Action turns years of dreaming into moments of achievement. Action transforms potential into reality. You don't get stronger by talking about lifting weights. You get stronger by lifting them. You don't become successful by talking about success. You become successful by doing the work success requires. When you wake up in the morning, you have a choice. Feed the excuse or feed the execution. One leads backward, one leads forward. When something goes wrong, you can either complain about it or correct it. One keeps you stuck, one keeps you growing. The person you want to become is waiting for you on the other side of the work you're avoiding. And the longer you complain, the longer you delay meeting that version of yourself. Nobody has ever complained their way to greatness. Nobody has ever talked themselves into transformation without taking real steps. Nobody has ever wished or wind their way into their dream life. Every great accomplishment in human history was born from someone who chose to act, even when it was hard, even when it was painful, even when it was uncertain. Action is a language. The universe understands movement. It responds to discipline. It rewards consistency. When you stop complaining and start acting, life starts opening doors that were always there. You just couldn't see them because you were too busy staring at the obstacle. You weren't born to complain. You weren't born to stay stuck. You weren't born to be average, to settle, to surrender, to break under pressure. You were built to overcome. You were built to rise. You were built to push. Action is how you reclaim your power. Action is how you rewrite your story. Action is how you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than the world expects and more than you once believed. Complaining is a habit, but so is action. And the habit you feed becomes the lifestyle you live. Replace a why me with a watch me. Replace I can't with I will. Replace it's too hard with I'm getting stronger. Replace I'm tired with I'm committed. Replace a life is unfair with a life is an opportunity. The day you stop complaining and start acting is the day your life changes. Because action doesn't just move your feet, it moves your mindset. It moves your spirit. It moves your belief. It moves your destiny. That pain is temporary. Push through it to reach growth. This truth has saved more dreams, built more champions, and transformed more ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies than almost anything else. But most people never learn how powerful this truth is because they run from pain the moment it shows up. They treat pain like a signal to stop instead of a sign to keep going. They treat discomfort like danger instead of guidance. They see struggle as punishment instead of preparation. And that's why they never break through. That's why they stay stuck in the same cycle year after year, hoping for change, but never pushing long enough to reach it. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is not the thing trying to destroy you. Pain is the thing trying to develop you. Every time life applies pressure, it's shaping you. Every time you feel resistance, it's strengthening you. Every time you get stretched, you grow. But growth is uncomfortable. Growth hurts. Growth requires letting go of old habits, old excuses, old patterns, old mindsets. Growth demands sacrifice. Growth demands discipline. And anything that demands sacrifice will always feel painful at first. You can't build muscle without tearing fibers. You can't build endurance without exhausting yourself. You can't build skill without failing repeatedly. You can't build discipline without forcefully denying your own comfort. Everything that becomes strong must first go through strain. Everything that becomes better must first break away from what it once was. You cannot evolve and stay the same. You cannot advance and stay comfortable. You cannot reach your highest level while living at your lowest effort. Pain is the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. And most people never cross that bridge because the moment it shakes, the moment it feels unstable, the moment it gets steep, they turn around and go back to the life they said they wanted to escape from. Pain is temporary. And temporary does not mean it won't last a week, a month, or even a year. Temporary means it will not last forever. Temporary means it will pass if you don't quit. Temporary means it has an expiration date, but quitting does not. Quitting is permanent. Quitting turns temporary pain into lifelong regret. Quitting turns discomfort into disappointment. Quitting turns a test into a tomb. You cannot avoid pain and expect progress. You cannot run from discomfort and expect transformation. You cannot choose ease and expect excellence. And listen, every single person you admire, every champion you look up to, every successful person you see shining today has one thing in common. They pushed through the pain. They didn't skip the struggle. They didn't avoid the dark days. They didn't hide from the pressure. They walked straight into the fire because they understood that fire doesn't just burn, it forges, it shapes, it strengthens. Fire is how you purify gold, how you mold steel, how you temper a blade, and your character is no different. You are being shaped through the heat, through the pressure, through the struggle. Not by avoiding it, but by surviving it. Think about a seed. Before it becomes a tree, before it grows roots, before it rises toward the sun, it must break. It must split open in the dark under the weight of the soil, surrounded by pressure. But the seed doesn't complain about the darkness. It doesn't cry about the weight. It doesn't wish for an easier environment. It pushes until it breaks. It pushes until it grows. It pushes until it reaches the surface. And the potential was always inside the seed, but it only came alive when pressure was applied. The pressure awakened the possibility. And it's the same with you. What you're going through is not designed to destroy you. It's designed to reveal you. Pain is the birthplace of growth. Pain is the instructor that teaches you discipline. Pain is the coach that refuses to let you settle. Pain is the mirror that shows you who you really are. When everything is easy, you don't discover your strength. When everything is smooth, you don't discover your resilience. When everything makes sense, you don't develop courage. Strength is built when you keep going despite the fatigue. Resilience is built when you rise after you fall. Courage is built when you move forward, even when you're scared. And all of that lives on the other side of pain. But what most people never realize is that pain has a rhythm. Pain arrives when it's time to grow. Pain appears when something in your life needs to change. Pain shows up when the old version of you is no longer enough for the future you're trying to walk in. Pain is the alarm clock of transformation. It's the signal that you are outgrowing your current level. And instead of running from that signal, you need to answer it. You've been through pain before and you survived it. Heartbreak, rejection, failure, embarrassment, loss. You walked through storms that should have broken you. You've carried burdens nobody knows about. You've taken hits that would have crushed someone else, but you're still here. So what makes you think you can't survive this pain? What makes you think you can't push through this challenge? What makes you think you're not built for this? You are stronger than you remember. You are tougher than you act. You are more resilient than you give yourself credit for. You have a history of surviving. Now you need a mindset of pushing. The problem is not the pain. The problem is that you stop pushing when you feel the pain. The moment you get tired, you quit. The moment it gets uncomfortable, you slow down. The moment life gets heavy, you stop lifting. But the growth is not in the beginning. The growth is not in the middle. The growth is in the final stretch, the part that hurts the most, the part where your legs burn, the part where your lungs scream, the part where your lungs scream, the part where your mind tries to negotiate with you. That is where champions are made. Champions are not made by how they start. Champions are made by how they push when they want to stop. Pain is temporary. The soreness phase, the fatigue phase, the discomfort phase. But the results stay. The pride stays, the strength stays, the transformation stays. Every time you push through pain, you make a deposit into your future. Every time you push through pain, you build a version of yourself that you can trust. Every time you push through pain, you prove that you can rely on you. And that's the biggest power in the world, to know that when everything gets hard, you don't fold. You have to stop running from things that are uncomfortable. You have to stop choosing easy. Easy will betray you. Easy will keep you average. Easy will lie to you and tell you you're safe while quietly stealing your potential. The life you want is not on the easy path. The life you want is at the top of a mountain that can only be reached by embracing struggle, not avoiding it. Pain reveals purpose. Pain exposes weakness so you can strengthen it. Pain humbles ego so you can learn. Pain clears distractions so you can focus. Pain removes people who don't belong in your journey. Pain shapes you into someone capable of handling the blessings you're asking for. You cannot pray for strength and then run from the very experiences that build it. You cannot beg for greatness and then refuse the training that greatness requires. Sometimes pain is not even coming from life. Sometimes the pain is coming from old self fighting your new self. Every time you try to level up, the old version of you resists. It doesn't want to change. It doesn't want to sacrifice. It doesn't want to wake up earlier, train harder, think deeper, commit longer. The old you wants comfort. The new you wants growth. The new you wants growth. And growth wins only when you decide that becoming who you are meant to be is more important than staying who you were. And that's the real battle, not pain itself, but your response to pain. Pain is neutral. Pain becomes destructive only when you surrender to it. Pain becomes powerful when you push through it. The same fire that melts glass hardens steel. Not the fire that determines the outcome, it's the material. And you decide what you are. You decide what you are. You decide whether you melt or strengthen. You decide whether you break or rise. You decide whether pain becomes the reason you quit or the reason you become unstoppable. If you could see who you would become on the other side of this pain, you would stop hesitating. You would stop complaining. You would stop delaying. You will push with everything you've got. Because the version of you that emerges after pushing through pain is someone extraordinary. Someone focused, someone disciplined, someone fearless, someone unbreakable, someone who leads, someone who inspires, someone who earns their place instead of waiting for permission. Pain is temporary, growth is permanent. And the moment you truly understand that, the moment you tattoo that truth on your heart, the moment you start treating discomfort as a sign to keep going instead of a reason to stop, you become unstoppable. Success requires discipline, not comfort. This is the foundation, the truth that separates the people who dream from the people who achieve. Everybody wants success. Everybody likes the idea of winning. Everybody loves the feeling of imagining a better life. But when it comes to doing what's required, when it comes to waking up early, when it comes to sacrificing, when it comes to grinding day after day, without applause, without validation, without an audience, most people disappear. They don't disappear because they are weak. They disappear because they chase comfort instead of building discipline. Comfort is easy. Comfort is familiar. Comfort doesn't ask anything from you. Comfort lets you stay the same. Comfort gives you an excuse to take the day off. Comfort whispers in your ear, telling you that you deserve a break, even when you didn't earn one. Comfort offers you pleasure in the moment while stealing your potential in the long term. Every time you choose comfort, you are choosing to stay exactly where you are. You are choosing to settle. You are choosing average. And the world is full of average, not because people are incapable of greatness, but because they choose comfort over discipline. Discipline is different. This commitment. Discipline is commitment. Discipline is sacrifice. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the feeling you said it in. Has discipline doesn't care if you feel tired, if you feel bored, if you feel unmotivated, if you feel scared. Discipline asks one question. Did you do the work? It demands consistency. It demands responsibility. It demands that you show up whether or not you feel like it. And that is why discipline is the doorway to success. It's the bridge between desire and achievement. Most people underestimate how much discipline changes everything. You want a new body? That's discipline, not comfort. You want a successful business? Discipline. You want financial stability? Discipline. You want mastery in a skill? Discipline. You want respect? Discipline. You want results that last, results that matter, results you can look at years from now and feel proud of? Discipline. Everything you truly want requires discipline, not comfort. Comfort is the lie that keeps you wishing. Discipline is the truth that gets you working. The world rewards discipline because discipline creates value. When you discipline yourself, you become reliable. You become consistent. You become stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally. You become the kind of person people trust. You become the kind of person who doesn't break under pressure. You become the kind of person who can handle responsibility. Comfort doesn't build any of that. Comfort weakens you. Comfort softens you. Comfort lulls you into a false sense of security while life moves forward without you. Success is not an event. It is not a moment. It is not something you stumble into. Success is built brick by brick through disciplined action repeated long enough to create transformation. Successful people are not magical. They are obedient. They obey the process. They obey the grind. They obey consistency even when progress feels slow. The reason they win is because they keep showing up after everyone else stopped. Comfort kills dreams quietly. It doesn't destroy them instantly. It erodes them slowly. One skipped day becomes a skipped week. One excuse becomes a pattern. One moment of laziness becomes a habit. And before you know it, years have passed, and the dream you once had is still floating in your imagination while your reality hasn't changed. You tell yourself that you'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And next year becomes a regret that haunts you for the rest of your life. Discipline is freedom. People think discipline is restriction, but they miss the truth. Discipline frees you from guilt. Discipline frees you from regret. Discipline frees you from anxiety because discipline gives you control. When you are disciplined, you don't panic because you know you did the work. You don't fear challenges because you trained for them. You don't fear failure because you know you will keep going. Discipline gives you confidence and clarity because you know you are prepared. Comfort does the opposite. Comfort keeps you dependent. Comfort makes you afraid of stepping out because you haven't built the strength to handle pressure. Comfort makes you fragile. Comfort makes your emotions unstable because you are used to giving in to them instead of controlling them. Comfort promises ease but leaves you empty. Discipline requires effort but leaves you power. Think about any athlete at the peak of their game. Their greatness isn't built on comfort. They don't train only when they feel good. They train when they're tired. They train when they're sore. They train when they don't want to. They train when the weather is bad, when the schedule is tight, when their body wants to quit. They master discipline so deeply that it becomes part of their identity. And because discipline becomes who they are, success becomes what they do. The same applies to every field. A doctor becomes great through disciplined study, disciplined practice, disciplined patience. A musician becomes brilliant through disciplined repetition, disciplined training, disciplined focus. A writer becomes exceptional through disciplined writing, even when inspiration is nowhere to be found. There is no greatness without discipline. Discipline is the difference between I wish and I will. Between a maybe one day and a this is my day. Between I want to and I did. Between I quit and I conquered. Discipline is not a feeling. Discipline is a decision. You don't wait to feel motivated because motivation is unreliable. It changes with your mood. It changes with the weather. It changes when someone criticizes you. It changes when life hits you. But discipline is constant. Discipline is built, strengthened, repeated, trained. It becomes a muscle. It becomes a reflex. It becomes something you rely on more than your emotions. When you choose comfort, you let your feelings control your future. When you choose discipline, you let your decisions control your future. Comfort is emotional. Discipline is intentional. Comfort reacts. Discipline responds. Comfort avoids pain. Discipline uses pain. Comfort chooses what feels good now. Discipline chooses what feels good later. You have to decide what matters more, your short-term feelings or your long-term success, your temporary comfort or your permanent transformation, your excuses or your evolution. Because you cannot have both. You can't binge on comfort and expect to feast on success. You can't give minimal effort and expect maximum results. You can't avoid struggle and expect strength. You can't live inconsistently and expect excellence. Discipline is not just about what you do. It's about who you become through what you do. When you discipline yourself, you build trust in yourself. You create a reputation with your own mind. Your mind learns that you follow through. That you don't break promises, that you don't fold under pressure, that you don't quit when it gets hard. And when your mind trusts you, you become unstoppable. When your mind knows you're serious, it gives you more power, more focus, more resilience. But when you choose comfort consistently, your mind learns that you don't keep your word. That you talk big, but act small. That you set goals you don't pursue. That you say you want change, but don't work for it. And your mind stops believing you. And the moment your mind stops believing you, that is the moment your potential dies. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. You will make mistakes. You will slip up. You will have days when things don't go your way. But discipline means you get back up. Discipline means you return to the path. Discipline means you continue. Discipline means you never let one bad day turn into a bad week, a bad month, or a bad life. Comfort makes excuses. Discipline finds solutions. Comfort waits for the right moment. Discipline creates the right moment. Comfort needs external motivation. Discipline builds internal drive. Comfort avoids discomfort. Discipline seeks growth. Comfort gives in. Discipline stands firm. The difference between the life you have and the life you want is discipline. The version of you that you dream about becoming. The stronger you, the smarter you, the wealthier you, the more confident you, the more successful you, is built through disciplined decisions repeated day after day after day. And the beautiful thing about discipline is that it compounds. The more disciplined you become, the easier it gets. The stronger you get, the more momentum you build. And eventually what once felt impossible becomes automatic. Everything changes the moment you decide that comfort is no longer an option. Everything changes the moment you decide to prioritize your future over your feelings. Everything changes the moment you stop negotiating with laziness, fear, distractions, and excuses. Everything changes the moment discipline becomes your default setting instead of your occasional effort. Because once you master discipline, you master success. When you make a decision to stop whining and push, something powerful happens inside you. It's not magic, it's not luck, and it's not some overnight miracle. It's the moment you take back authority over your own destiny. It's the moment you stop letting circumstances write your story and you start writing it with your own hand. And the truth is, most people never experience this moment because they're too comfortable complaining, too comfortable pointing finger, too comfortable waiting for the perfect opportunity. But life doesn't reward comfort. Life rewards courage. Life rewards grit. Life rewards the person who wakes up every day and says, I'm not here to survive, I'm here to take over. You can't change what you tolerate, and you can't elevate from a place of excuses. If you want something different in your life, you have to become someone different. You have to become the person who doesn't negotiate with their pain. You have to become the person who doesn't take days off from their dreams. The person who says, I don't need perfect condition, I create them with my effort. When you get to that level of internal resolve, life has no choice but to respond. And I get it, it's hard. You're tired. You've been knocked down, you tried before and it didn't work. You gave your best and it still wasn't enough. You watched other people get opportunities you felt you deserved. You invested energy, time, money, emotion, and the return didn't come. I know that feeling. Everybody who has ever done something meaningful knows that feeling. That frustration is part of the process. That discouragement is part of the rising. But complaining about it has never moved a mountain. Whining about it has never opened a door. You can cry, but don't quit. You can bend, but don't break. You can feel disappointed, but don't let disappointment rob you of your drive. Every champion you admire had moments where they question everything. Moments where they ask, why me? Why now? Why is this so hard? But then they realize something. The world doesn't care about your why. The world only cares about your fight. It cares about your persistence. It cares about whether you kept moving when every reason to stop lined up perfectly. Life is testing you, not punishing you. It's asking, how bad do you really want it? Are you disciplined enough to survive the drought? Are you focused enough to ignore the noise? Are you hungry enough to outwork your old self? When you push beyond the whining stage, you enter a new mental territory. You begin to look at difficulties differently. You stop saying, oh, why is this happening to me? And you start saying, what is this trying to teach me? You stop looking at obstacles as walls and start seeing them as weights. And weights are meant to make you stronger. You stop looking at problems as barriers and start seeing them as invitations to grow. That mental switch changes everything because perspective shapes your persistence. If you think you're being punished, you'll quit. But if you think you're being prepared, you'll push. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that they'll start pushing when things get easier. But nothing gets easier until you push. Nothing gets better until you do something about it. Nothing improves while you're sitting, complaining, comparing, or waiting. Growth doesn't visit people. Growth responds to people who chase it. You can't sit in the passenger seat of your life and expect to arrive at your destination. You have to get behind the wheel. You have to drive through confusion, through obstacles, through fear, through doubt, through exhaustion. You can't stay parked. You can't stop moving. Your momentum is your breakthrough. Some people quit because they expect the process to be fair, but life isn't fair, it's intentional. It gives you exactly what you need to evolve. Sometimes that means pain. Sometimes that means pressure. Sometimes that means starting over again and again. But pressure is not the enemy. Pressure is the sculptor. It shapes your character, your resilience, your discipline. Diamonds don't form in comfort. They form under heat, under pressure, under force. And whether you realize it or not, life is trying to make you a diamond. It's trying to reveal the strength inside you that you don't even know you have. The moment you stop whining and push is the moment you reclaim power. It's the moment you silence that inner voice that keeps telling you you're not ready or not capable. That voice will always be there. But your push has to be louder than your doubt. Your push has to be stronger than your excuses. Your push has to be in charge. You don't need a new year, a new month, or a new Monday to start. You need a new mindset. You need a moment where you draw a line in the sand and say, up from this moment, I'm done waiting. Don't blame me. I'm done blaming. I'm done feeling sorry for myself. I'm done living beneath my potential. And listen, people around you may not understand. They might look at you strange. They might laugh. They might doubt. They might tell you to chill, relax, slow down. That's because they've accepted average in their lives, and your pursuit of greatness exposes their comfort. Don't adopt other people's limits. Don't inherit their fears. Your calling is yours. Your dream is yours. Your fight is yours. You cannot expect people who gave up on their dreams to cheer for yours. You can't expect people who quit pushing to encourage your push. That's why belief is not optional. Belief is necessary. Self-belief is not arrogance. It's alignment. Choosing to match your mindset with your mission. When you believe in your purpose enough to push past discomfort, you unlock a version of yourself you've never met before. A focused version, a disciplined version, a version that feels pain but keeps moving, a version that gets tired but keeps showing up, a version that doesn't need applause, approval, or permission. That version of you is strong. That version of you is dangerous. That version of you is unstoppable. And yes, the push hurts. It stretches you. It fatigues you. It demands sacrifice. But everything you want is on the other side of discomfort. If comfort could give you greatness, everybody would have it. If convenience could give you success, everybody would be living their dreams. But comfort only gives you comfort, and you weren't born to live a comfortable life. You were born to live a meaningful one. And meaningful lives require meaningful effort. They require long nights, early mornings, rejection, repetition, discipline, and determination. You don't push because it's easy. You push because it's worth it. Every breakthrough has a price, and the currency is discipline. The currency is effort. The currency is showing up even when the results aren't visible yet. The currency is preparing in private for victories that will show in public later. You don't plant a seed tonight and harvest a forest tomorrow. Growth takes time, and time takes patience. But patience without action is useless. Patience without pushing is just waiting. And waiting has never built anything. You've waited long enough. Now it's time to build. When you're pushing, you learn things about yourself you would never learn otherwise. You learn how strong you can be. You learn how much pain you can endure. You learn how much pressure you can carry. You learn how disciplined you can become. You learn how focused your mind can be when you stop letting distractions dictate your decision. The push reveals your capacity. It elevates your standard. It rewrites your identity. You stop calling yourself weak, broken, unlucky. You start calling yourself determined, hungry, powerful, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You will never regret pushing, but you will always regret quitting. You will always regret the moments you chose excuse over effort. You will always regret the time you listened to fear instead of faith. You will always regret the opportunities you didn't pursue because you were tired, scared, or discouraged. Regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches. Regret torments. Failure moves you forward. Regret keeps you stuck. Failure is part of the journey. Regret is the cost of not taking the journey. So push, because regret is not an option for somebody who knows they were born for more. And when you push long enough, hard enough, consistently enough, something incredible happens. Momentum arrives, and momentum changes your life. Suddenly, the habits that felt impossible become automatic. The discipline that felt heavy becomes natural. The confidence that felt fragile becomes unshakable. Momentum is your reward for surviving the early stages. Momentum is your trophy for continuing when quitting looked easier. But momentum only appears after the push. It never comes first. People want momentum without motion, confidence without commitment, success without sacrifice. But that's not how greatness works. The grind doesn't care how you feel. It only cares what you do. The universe doesn't respond to your complaints. It responds to your consistency. Your dreams don't respond to your emotional ups and downs. They respond to your discipline. So don't give your emotions permission to run your life. You can feel angry, feel tired, feel discouraged, feel overwhelmed. But don't let those feelings tell you to stop. Feelings are visitors. Your purpose is permanent. Your mission is permanent. Your calling is permanent. Push past the feeling and into the future you want. And don't forget, somebody is watching you. A younger version of you is watching. Your family is watching. Your future children are watching. Your community is watching. Somebody who thinks about quitting every day is waiting to see if you'll keep going. Your push might save someone else's dream. Your resilience might ignite someone else's courage. Your persistence might become someone else's blueprint. Don't ever think your grind is just for you. Greatness always creates a ripple effect. The truth is simple. The life you want will require a version of you that you haven't built yet. And the only way to build that version is to push through the discomfort that shaped the old you. Every challenge you face is a construction site. Every setback is a workshop. Every painful moment is carving you into someone sharper, wiser, stronger. You're not failing. You're being formed. You're not breaking. You're being remade. You're not losing. You're learning. But only if you keep pushing. So when the voice in your head tells you to slow down, you tell it, not today. When your body tells you it's done, you tell it, give me one more. When your fear tells you you're not ready, you tell it, watch me. When your excuses say you can, you answer, I will. This is your season. This is your rise. This is your rebuild. This is your transformation. And transformations don't come from whining. They come from pushing. There comes a moment in every journey where you realize that no one is coming to save you. No mentor, no friend, no family member, no miracle is going to magically appear and drag you to the finish line. You come to understand, sometimes painfully, that the life you want will never be handed to you. And when that realization hits you, it doesn't come quietly. It comes like a slap, a wake-up call, a shock to your system. It forces you to look in the mirror and ask yourself the question you've been avoiding. How badly do I want this? And not just when things are easy, not just when motivation is high, not just when everything is going your way, but every single day, even when you feel empty, exhausted, disappointed, discouraged, and invisible. Because wanting something when life is smooth is easy. Wanting it when life is hitting you from every angle is where greatness is born. Most people don't fail because they don't have talent. They don't fail because they don't have potential. They fail because they think desire alone is enough. They think intention is enough. They think dreaming is enough. But dreams without work are just fantasies. Intentions without discipline are just ideas. Desire without grit is just noise. What separates the achievers from the dreamers isn't passion, it's perseverance. It's waking up on the days when passion is gone and discipline is the only thing you have left. It's pushing forward even when your heart feels tired. It's refusing to settle, refusing to fold, refusing to accept the good enough when you know deep down is calling your name. And pushing through adversity isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's not about ignoring your pain, dismissing your frustration, or acting like you're superhuman. It's about acknowledging that you're hurting, acknowledging that you're tired, acknowledging that the journey feels unfair, and choosing to keep moving anyway. That's what separates warriors from warrior. Worry slows you down. Worry makes you hesitate. Worry keeps you stuck. But warriors don't freeze. They advance. They take a step even when the path is blurry. They swing even when their hands are shaking. They show up even when their legs are heavy. They give effort even when their spirit feels weak. They keep going because their purpose is bigger than their pain. You must develop the kind of drive that doesn't break under pressure, but builds under pressure. Pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a sign that you're growing, that you're stretching, that you're stepping outside the boundaries that once held you captive. When life applies pressure, it's not trying to crush you. It's trying to shape you. Pressure turns coal into diamonds. Fire refines metal. And adversity turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Every trial you're experiencing right now is preparing you for a version of success you wouldn't be strong enough to handle otherwise. You don't grow in comfort. You grow in challenge. You grow in storms. You grow in the moments where quitting feels justified, but perseverance is necessary. Every time you push through something you thought would break you, you get stronger. Every time you face something you once feared, you gain confidence. Every time you discipline yourself to do what needs to be done, not what feels good, you expand. You become more resilient. You become more focused. You become more dangerous to the limitations that once controlled your life. And that's what growth looks like. Uncomfortable, demanding, frustrating, but worth it. People think the grind is about muscles, hustle, and sweat, but the grind is mostly mental. It's a psychological battle with the voice inside your head that tries to convince you that you're not capable, not ready, not gifted enough, not worthy. That voice is subtle, but it's powerful. It will whisper to you at the worst times. When you're tired, when you're stressed, when you fail, when you've been rejected, it will say, just stop, just rest, just give up. And you have to be strong enough, grounded enough, and hungry enough to talk back to that voice and say, not today. It's easy to talk about dreams when you're inspired. It's easy to plan your goals when you're motivated. But when you're exhausted and nothing is working the way you hoped, that's where your true commitment is tested. That's where ordinary people quit and extraordinary people rise. That's where winners decide who they are. If your effort disappears when hardship appears, then you weren't committed. You were excited. Commitment is proven in suffering. Commitment is proven when the reward is nowhere in sight. Commitment is proven when the applause stops, when the crowd disappears, when the encouragement fades, when you're standing alone with nothing but your internal determination. You need to build a mindset that takes responsibility for everything in your life. Not blame, responsibility. Blame points fingers. Responsibility takes ownership. Blame gives your power away. Responsibility takes your power back. Blame says, a life is happening to me. Responsibility says, a life is happening for me. When you take full responsibility, you stop waiting for someone to fix things for you. You stop expecting shortcuts. You stop relying on motivation alone. You stop begging for easier circumstances. You start building yourself into someone who can thrive in any circumstances. Doing things only when you feel like it is the fastest path to mediocrity. Champions don't win because they're always motivated. They win because they're disciplined. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't want to do it. Discipline is waking up early when your body wants to sleep. Discipline is studying when your mind wants to relax. Discipline is saying no to distractions, no to temptations, no to easy escapes. Discipline is the foundation of every great achievement you've ever admired. Nobody becomes excellent by accident. Excellence is a habit created by repeated choices, and those choices are often uncomfortable. The moment you start embracing pain instead of avoiding it is the moment you become unstoppable. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your coach. Pain teaches you what comfort can. Pain shows you your limits and then invites you to break them. Pain humbles you and then strengthens you. Every champion has a relationship with pain. They don't fear it. They respect it. They study it. They use it. Pain is feedback. Pain tells you where you need to grow. Pain tells you where your weaknesses are hiding. Pain tells you where old behaviors must die for new potential to rise. Most people don't understand that pushing through adversity is less about winning and more about who you become while you're trying to win. The result matters, but the transformation matters more. The struggle changes your character, shapes your mindset, and sharpens your discipline. The struggle forces you to improve, forces you to evolve, forces you to rise above your old habits and excuses. You become more accountable, you become more intentional, you become more resilient. You become more resilient self that even you didn't think was possible. And as you grow, you start to attract things that align with the new you. Better opportunities, better connections, better outcomes. Life opens doors for those who show they are willing to walk through them. But life will not waste its blessings on somebody who won't fight for them. You have to show life that you are serious. You have to prove that you are hungry enough, disciplined enough, focused enough, prepared enough. Life respects effort. Life rewards consistency. Life responds to courage. And pushing doesn't mean pushing recklessly. It means pushing deliberately. It means having a purpose deeper than comfort. It means knowing exactly why you started and reminding yourself of that reason every single day. It means aligning your actions with your goals and refusing to sabotage yourself with distractions. It means protecting your time, protecting your energy, protecting your peace. It means cutting off people who drain you, habits that weaken you, environments that limit you. It means caring more about your future than your feelings. When you push long enough, the people around you start to change too. They begin to see the shift in your discipline. They notice the shift in your focus. They feel the shift in your energy. And suddenly people who once doubted you begin respecting you. People who once ignored you begin watching you. People who once underestimated you begin studying you. That's the power of consistency. Consistency earns respect long before success does. Even when you're tired, even when you're frustrated, even when you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world, keep moving. Movement is medicine. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates breakthroughs. The people who win aren't always the strongest or the smartest. They're the ones who kept moving when everyone else stopped. They're the ones who didn't let temporary setbacks convince them to abandon permanent dreams. They're the ones who believed in their promise more than they feared their problem. So keep pushing when your legs feel heavy. Keep pushing when your spirit feels drained. Keep pushing when your heart feels broken. Keep pushing when the world feels unfair. Keep pushing when the doubts get loud. Keep pushing when the results are slow. Keep pushing when nobody understands your journey. Keep pushing when nobody is clapping for you. Keep pushing until the voice in your head that tells you to quit grows silent. Keep pushing until your consistency becomes your confidence. Keep pushing until your discipline becomes your identity. Keep pushing because you are built for more, capable of more, destined for more. And don't forget, the adversity you're facing today is creating the strength you'll need for tomorrow. The pain you're feeling today is carving resilience you will lean on years from now. The challenges you're fighting through right now are building the foundation for the victories you haven't seen yet. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not being broken. You are being built. You are not losing. You are learning, but only if you push. There's a moment in your life when you get tired of watching time pass you by. You get tired of seeing other people succeed while you stay stuck in the same place year after year. You get tired of scrolling through your phone, watching everybody else accomplish what you keep saying you're going to do on one day. You get tired of your own excuses, tired of hearing yourself talk about goals you never commit to. Tired of waking up every morning with dreams in your mind, but no discipline in your actions. And when that moment comes, something inside you snaps, not in a destructive way, but in a powerful way. You reach a point where you know deep down that you are capable of so much more, and you can no longer tolerate living below your potential. When you reach that point, you stop waiting for the right time because you realize there is no right time. There is only now. You stop telling yourself that you need more money, more support, more motivation, more confidence. You stop convincing yourself that you need permission. You stop acting like life owes you something. You understand that the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you demand. It gives you what you work for. It gives you what you refuse to quit on. The moment you stop treating your dreams like hobby and start treating them like responsibilities, everything changes. And part of that transformation is learning to show up even when nobody sees you. Learning to grind even when nobody applauds you. Learning to believe in yourself even when there's no visible progress. Because greatness is never built in public. Greatness is built in the hours nobody witnesses. It's built in the late nights, the early morning, the days when you're exhausted but you refuse to sleep until you complete your task. It's built in the sacrifices you make while others relax. The problem with most people is they want the success, but they don't want the unseen hours. They want the glory, but they reject the grind. They want the outcome, but avoid the process. But the process is the price. You have to change the way you look at pain. Pain isn't the enemy. Pain is the doorway. Pain is the evidence that you're growing. Pain is a signal that you're stretching. Pain is the indicator that you're leaving the old version of yourself behind. Every time you push yourself to do something you're not used to, something inside you shifts. You aren't just building routines. You're building identity. You're proving to yourself that you can follow through. You're showing your mind that it no longer has the right to control your destiny. We all have two voices inside us. One voice says, you can do this, keep going, push. The other voice says, it's too hard, quit. You're not good enough. And the voice that wins is the one you feed. When you choose to push every day, even when you don't feel like it, you are feeding the warrior inside you. You are strengthening the voice that pushes you forward. You are weakening the voice that tries to keep you small. Most people never achieve their dreams because they feed the wrong voice their whole lives. They listen to the voice that tells them they're tired, overwhelmed, incapable. They listen to the voice that says, just do it tomorrow, not realizing that the accumulation of tomorrows is what destroys lives. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You cannot think your way to the next level. You have to work your way to the next level. You have to wake up with urgency because time is not slowing down for you. If anything, it's speeding up. Every year feels faster than the last because life doesn't wait, and you can't keep procrastinating your purpose. You can't keep pushing your destiny into the future because of temporary discomfort. Ask yourself, how many dreams have you buried because you didn't feel ready? You didn't feel ready. How many opportunities slipped through your fingers? How many times have you let fear speak louder than faith? Fear is not a sign that you should stop. Fear is a sign that you should move. Fear appears in your life whenever you approach something meaningful, whenever you step toward your future, whenever you start to grow. If you run from fear, you run from destiny. If you face fear, you face transformation. I'm not telling you to be fearless. That's impossible. I'm telling you to be brave. Brave doesn't mean you're not scared. Brave means you move forward even while shaking. And if you want to reach the next level, you have to stop negotiating with yourself. You can't keep giving yourself discounts. You can't keep lowering your standards every time life gets uncomfortable. You can't keep saying, I'll do it later. Winners don't negotiate with laziness. They don't negotiate with excuses. They don't negotiate with weakness. They know what needs to be done and they do it. Not because they feel like it, but because it's required. Discipline is doing what must be done even when you don't want to do it. Discipline is choosing growth over comfort, consistency over convenience, purpose over pleasure. And you need to hear this. Your future is counting on you. Your future family is counting on you, your future success, your future peace, your future happiness. All of it depends on the choices you make today. You can't keep playing small and expect a big life. You can't keep acting like you have unlimited chance. Every day you waste is a day you can't get back. Every hour you give to distraction is an hour taken from your destiny. Every excuse you accept steals from the life you could have lived. There will be moments where you feel lonely, where you feel unseen, where you feel like nobody understands your struggle. That's okay. You don't need everyone to understand. You just need to understand your mission. You need to understand that walking a path of elevation means walking away from certain people, habits, environments, and mindsets. Elevation requires separation. Growth requires distancing yourself from anything that drains you or distracts you. You have to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. You can't surround yourself with people who complain all day and expect to be motivated. You can't hang around people with no discipline and expect to have discipline. You can't expect success to grow in a toxic environment. Your environment matters. Your circle matters. Your company matters. If the people around you aren't pushing you, inspiring you, challenging you, then they are slowing you down, and you don't have time to be slowed down. This is the season where you stop looking for comfort and start looking for comfort and start looking for clarity. Where you stop trying to escape the struggle and start embracing it. Where you stop chasing quick results and start focusing on long-term growth. This is the season where you get serious about who you're becoming. And becoming that person means pushing through things you used to avoid. It means breaking patterns you've carried for years. It means holding yourself accountable at a level you've never experienced. You'll be tempted to quit more times than you can count. Your mind will try to convince you that staying the same is easier. But staying the same is not easier. It's just familiar. Familiarity is dangerous because it tricks you into thinking you're safe. But comfort zones don't protect you, they imprison you. They keep you locked away from your potential. They keep you stuck in cycles you say you hate. They keep you living a small life when you were created for a great one. Every breakthrough in your life will require a breakdown of your old habits. You cannot evolve while keeping everything the same. There will be days when you feel lost. There will be days when you feel like you're not improving. There will be days when the results don't match the effort. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days that build character. Those are the days that separate wishful thinkers from true achievers. You need to commit to the process even when you don't see progress. The seed grows underground long before the world sees the plant. Your effort is working even when it looks like it's not. Your discipline is transforming you from the inside out. You may not feel it today. You may not see it this week. But if you remain consistent, the results will show. Nothing in life stays the same. Everything grows if you water it. Everything improves if you work at it. everything changes. If you push yourself, there will always be voices around you telling you to slow down, telling you to be realistic, telling you to stop dreaming so big. But those voices aren't talking to your future. They're talking to your fear. Don't let the opinions of others become the limits of your life. You need to dream big, think big, act big. You need to elevate your standards, your habits, your vision. You need to refuse to settle for a life that doesn't set your soul on fire. Every day you wake up, you get another chance to rewrite your story. You get another chance to become the kind of person you admire. You get another chance to chase something meaningful. Don't waste those chances. Don't sleepwalk through your life. Don't keep saying I won't die when today is right in front of you. Work for the life you want. Sweat for the life you want. Push for the life you want. Because once you get there, once you finally achieve what you've been chasing, you'll realize that every sacrifice was worth it. Every early morning, every late night, every uncomfortable choice, every moment of self-doubt. All it was leading you toward the person you were meant to become. When you reach a point in life where you realize no one is coming to save you, something inside you breaks. But that break is not your ending. It's the moment your real life begins. People spend years waiting for someone to rescue them, to believe in them, to sponsor them, to validate their existence. But the truth is brutally simple. Your breakthrough starts the day you stop looking for someone else to carry you. The world owes you nothing. And the sooner you absorb that truth, the freer you become. Freedom arrives not when life gets easier, but when you grow stronger. Strength doesn't come from comfort. Strength is carved from storms, carved from rejection, carved from long nights when nobody claps for you. Nobody texts you. Nobody checks you. Nobody checks on you, and you still show up for yourself. That's the moment you discover who you are. People talk about wanting success, but they don't want responsibility. They want elevation, but they don't want accountability. They want to reach the top of the mountain, but they don't want to feel the burn it takes to climb. But greatness demands ownership. Ownership over your mornings, your discipline, your mindset, your reactions, your habits. And the hardest thing in the world is not working hard one day. It's working hard every day when nothing seems to be changing. When the results come slow, when your bank account doesn't reflect your effort, when the people around you can't see your vision, when the world labels you as average. That's where most people quit, because they think struggle means failure. But the truth is the opposite. Struggle means progress. Struggle means you are in the game, not sitting on the sidelines. Struggle means you have not surrendered. And if you want to transform your life, you must make a decision. Are you going to be the person who talks about what they want, or the person who works for what they want? Because your decisions shape your destiny more than your dreams ever will. Everybody has dreams, but only a few have discipline. Everybody has goals, but only a few have grind. Everybody wants growth, but only a few are willing to endure the discomfort it takes to evolve. Growth is messy. Growth is painful. Growth requires you to let go of the version of yourself that is comfortable with excuses. Your excuses are loyal to you. They are loyal to your comfort zone. And your comfort zone is the most dangerous place you can live, because nothing grows there except regret. People fail because they underestimate the power of daily consistency. They want massive results for minimal effort. They want success without sacrifice, progress without persistence. But the truth is simple. Success is hidden inside the smallest actions. Waking up early, setting a plan, staying focused, removing distraction, doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Winners don't rely on motivation. Winners rely on commitment. Motivation is a spark, but commitment is the fire. A spark fades, a fire sustains. When you build a life based on commitment, you don't operate based on feeling. You operate based on purpose. Feelings are temporary. Purpose is permanent. When you take ownership of your life, you stop blaming people for where you are. You stop blaming your past, your parents, your circumstances, your environment. You stop telling the world what it didn't give you, and you start asking yourself what you're willing to create. Though you're a pre. You stop waiting for perfect conditions, because you realize perfect conditions don't exist. All you have is what you have right now. And success is about making the best out of the little you have until you grow it into more. Some of the greatest success stories started with nothing but hunger. Hunger to succeed, hunger to change, hunger to change, hunger to rewrite their story. When you have hunger, your excuses lose power. When you have hunger, your fear loses its grip. When you have hunger, your obstacles become opportunity. But you can't just want it. You have to be willing to become the person who deserves it. Success demands a stronger version of you, a more disciplined version, a more resilient version, a version of you who doesn't quit at the first sign of difficulty. Life tests you not to break you, but to shape you. Every challenge develops a new layer of strength. Every disappointment teaches you emotional endurance. Every setback refines your character. You learn who you are when you go through things that try to break you. You discover reserves of strength you didn't know existed. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to be your own motivator, your own cheerleader, your own rescue team. You learn that you are capable of more than people ever expected of you. People often look at winners and think they were always confident, always focused, always disciplined. But that's a lie. Winners became winners because they spent years fighting battles no one saw. They got up on days when they felt defeated. They worked while others slept. They stayed committed while others got distracted. They said no to things that weren't aligned with their vision. They sacrificed comfort for progress. They worked in silence long before they were celebrated in public. And even when no one believed in them, they kept believing in themselves. Because belief is a muscle, you grow it by using it. You must learn to silence the noise around you. The world is full of opinions, but opinions don't pay bills, opinions don't build dreams, and opinions don't define your identity. Your identity is shaped by your decisions, your principles, your discipline. Stop letting the noise distract you from the mission. The louder the world becomes, the quieter your focus needs to be. Protect your mind, protect your mind, protect your energy, protect your spirit. Not everyone deserves access to you because not everyone is aligned with where you're going. There are people who love you, but don't understand your vision. There are people who support you, but don't share your ambition. There are people who care about you, but will unintentionally limit you because their mindset is small. You must learn to separate love from influence. You can love people without letting them direct your life. And when the journey gets difficult, and it will, you must remember why you started. Your why is your anchor. Your why keeps you grounded when life tries to throw you off course. Your why is stronger than your excuses, stronger than your fear, stronger than your past. When you know your why, you stop negotiating with your goals. You stop giving up when it gets uncomfortable. You stop making decisions based on temporary emotions. Instead, you make decisions based on the future you're building. Every step forward, even the smallest one, is proof that you're not who you used to be. There are days when your mind will doubt you. Days your heart feels heavy. Days you question whether you're capable of more. But those are the days that matter the most. Those are the days where champions are formed. Not in the easy days, not in the comfortable days, but in the difficult one. You don't rise despite the pain. You rise because of the pain. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your instructor. Pain teaches discipline. Pain teaches patience. Pain teaches self-control. Pain teaches resilience. It burns away the weaker parts of you until only strength remains. Every setback is an invitation to become better. Every failure is a lesson disguised as disappointment. Every struggle is preparing you for something bigger than you can see. You are not going backward. You are being prepared. You are not being punished. You are being developed. The pressure you feel is shaping you into someone who can handle the success you're praying for. If success came too soon, it would crush you. But when you grow into the strength required to sustain success, nothing can take it from you. This is why ownership matters. When you take ownership, you stop living like a victim. Victims wait. Victims hope. Victims complain. Owners act. Owners build. Owners adapt. Owners rise. When you become the owner of your destiny, you start unlocking doors that you once thought were impossible. You start attracting opportunity because your energy shifts. You start walking differently, thinking differently, speaking differently. Your confidence grows not because life gets easier, but because you become better equipped to handle life. And you must remember, consistency beats talent every time. There are people more talented than you, more gifted than you, more connected than you, more privileged than you. But if they lack discipline, you will outrun them. Hard work is the great equalizer. Discipline is the great separator. Persistence is the great transformer. If you keep showing up while others quit, success becomes inevitable. It may take time, but time is irrelevant when you're committed. Time is irrelevant when your dream matters. Time is irrelevant when your purpose is bigger than your circumstances. You have to make a promise to yourself that quitting is no longer an option. That no matter what happens, you will keep moving. Crawl if you must, but move. Struggle if you must, but move. Cry if you must, but move. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to learn. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be courageous enough to take the next step. And the greatest transformation you will ever experience, realizing that everything you need is already inside you. The courage, the discipline, the strength, the resilience, they're all already there. They may be buried under doubt, under fear, under trauma, and under excuses, but they are there. And your job is to uncover them, to strengthen them, to use them, to build a life that reflects who you truly are, not who the world told you to be, not who your past tried to convince you you were, but who you choose to become. There comes a moment in your life when you realize that the path you're walking is too small for the person you're becoming. You can feel it in your bones, even when you can't explain it to anybody else. You wake up one day and something inside you whispers, this is not all there is. You were made for more. And that whisper becomes louder every time you settle for less, every time you ignore your potential, every time you pretend you're satisfied when your soul is starving. It doesn't matter how much you try to silence that voice, it keeps coming back because it knows the truth. You're capable of more than what you're giving. You're capable of more than what you're living. You're capable of more than what your past tried to convince you. Growth begins when you stop shrinking yourself to fit places you've outgrown. Too many people stay where they are, not because they lack talent, not because they lack vision, but because they lack the courage to let go. They stay in environments that keep them small. They surround themselves with people who don't challenge them. They cling to routines that no longer support their evolution. And they call it loyalty. But loyalty to your limitations is not loyalty. It's fear disguised as comfort. You cannot grow if you keep holding on to the things that were meant to teach you, not keep you. Life sends you signs. Life nudges you, warns you, pulls you. But if you ignore those signs long enough, life will break you just to rebuild you. Your next level will require separation. Separation from habits that drain you. Separation from distractions that blur your vision. Separation from people who are comfortable being average. Separation from the comfort that whispers, it's enough. Your spirit knows when you're staying below your potential. You can feel when you've outgrown your circle. You can feel when you've outgrown the version of yourself that settled for excuses. And when life starts shaking things around you, relationships ending, opportunities closing, routines falling apart, it's not punishment, it's preparation. You are not losing anything. You are shedding. You are not being abandoned. You are being aligned. But separation hurts. It's uncomfortable to walk away from what's familiar. It's painful to outgrow people you once loved deeply. It's difficult to move forward into the unknown with nothing but faith. You start questioning yourself. You start doubting whether you're making the right decisions. You feel guilty for choosing your growth over other people's comfort. But growth demands sacrifice. You can't hold on to everything and expect elevation. Some weights are emotional, some are mental, some are spiritual. But no matter what shape they come in, they slow you down and slow you down. And you cannot run toward your destiny if you're carrying the weight of people who refuse to move. One of the hardest lessons you'll ever learn is that everyone who started with you cannot finish with you. Not because they're bad, not because they're wrong, but because they're not willing to grow at the pace your purpose requires. They're comfortable, they're satisfied, they're loyal to their limitations. And if you stay close to people who fear change, you will start fearing it too. Growth requires courage, but sometimes courage requires loneliness. You'll have seasons where the only voice encouraging you is your own. Seasons where you walk alone, cry alone, fight alone. But these seasons are not meant to break you. They're meant to strengthen you. They teach you self-reliance. They teach you clarity. They teach you to trust your intuition. They teach you to hear your own voice louder than the noise of the world. People expect growth to feel good, but growth is uncomfortable by design. Muscles grow through resistance. Diamonds form under pressure. Butterflies grow in darkness. Every living thing must struggle before it transforms. So why would your transformation be any different? Sometimes the pain you feel is simply the stretching of who you used to be and who you are becoming. You don't break during growth, you expand. You expand your mindset, your discipline, your awareness. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw limitations. You start trusting yourself in ways you never had before. Growth is not just about adding things to your life. It's about subtracting everything that doesn't align with who you want to be. You must let go of the habits that are destroying your momentum. Let go of the excuses that protect your laziness. Let go of the people who drain your energy. Let go of the insecurities that silence your voice. Let go of the fear that stops you from starting. Your dream cannot grow in a mind cluttered with doubt. Your potential cannot expand in a life filled with distraction. Growth begins the moment you decide you're done living the same year over and over. You cannot become the best version of yourself without confronting the parts of you that keep sabotaging your progress. The part of you that procrastinates, the part of you that avoids discomfort, the part of you that seeks approval, the part of you that fears failure so much that you never take the first step. If you want to grow, you must be brutally honest with yourself. You must admit where you're being lazy, admit where you're inconsistent, admit where you're making excuses, admit where you're choosing comfort over progress. Growth begins with responsibility. Responsibility is the doorway to transformation. At some point, you must outgrow the need for someone to hold your hand. Yes, support feels good. Yes, encouragement helps. But you cannot rely on someone else to drag you to your destiny. You must carry yourself. You must push yourself. You must motivate yourself. No one else knows your potential like you do. No one else feels your calling like you do. No one else sees the visions that keep you awake at night. You owe it to yourself to grow into the person you were designed to be, not the person the world tried to turn you into. Every challenge you face is designed to grow you in a specific way. Some challenges grow your patience. Some grow your discipline. Some grow your emotional intelligence. Some grow your resilience. Some grow your faith. Nothing you go through is wasted. Every experience shapes you. Every setback strengthens you. Every disappointment redirects you. Life is not interested in your comfort. Life is interested in your development. And if you pay attention, you will see the pattern. Every time you level up, life tests you harder. Not because you're weak, but because life knows you're ready for more. Stop expecting people to understand your growth. Stop expecting them to clap for you. Stop expecting them to applaud your progress. Many won't understand why you're changing. Many won't understand why you're distancing yourself. Many won't understand why you're no longer available. But that's not your problem. Your growth is not a community decision. Your purpose is not up for debate. Your destiny doesn't require a group vote. When your spirit calls you higher, you must follow, whether people approve or not. You will reach a point where you stop seeking validation because you finally realize validation from others means nothing if you don't validate yourself. You can impress the world and still feel empty. You can please everyone and still feel lost. But when you grow into your purpose, when you commit to becoming the strongest version of yourself, you feel whole. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you finally become aligned. Alignment is when your actions match your values. Alignment is when your growth matches your goals. Alignment is when you stop chasing things that don't feed your spirit. There's a version of you that you have not met yet. A stronger version, a wiser version, a more disciplined version, a more confident version, a version with clear boundaries, a version with unstoppable focus, a version who no longer doubts themselves. And to meet that version, you must be willing to walk away from the version of yourself who settled. You must walk away from the version who tolerated disrespect. Walk away from the version who feared judgment. Walk away from the version who played small so others could feel comfortable. You cannot take that version of you into your future. You must outgrow them. Growth is a lonely road in the beginning, but a rewarding one in the end. You start walking alone, but eventually you attract new people. People who think bigger, dream bigger, live bigger. People who push you to level up. People who inspire your greatness. People who don't judge your ambition. People who don't fear your evolution. Growth removes the wrong people and replaces them with the right ones, but only after you walk through the season of isolation. Don't rush it. Don't fear it. Don't resist it. Growth always comes with a season of pruning. The pruning hurts, but it makes room for new roots, new strength, new blessings. Many people want transformation without transition. They want the reward, but not the process. They want the next level, but they don't want the shedding that comes with elevation. But you cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. You cannot fit a new mindset into an old lifestyle. Transformation demands transition. Transition demands discomfort. Discomfort demands courage. And courage demands action. You cannot think your way into the next level. You must move your way into it. And growth is not a one-time event. Growth is a lifestyle. Growth is waking up every day asking, how can I be better than I was yesterday? Growth is choosing discipline over ease. Growth is choosing focus over distraction. Growth is choosing healing over bitterness. Growth is choosing faith over fear. Growth is choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. Growth is choosing the future over the moment. You do not grow by accident, you grow by intention. Purposeful growth requires effort, consistency, and self-awareness. It requires you to break cycles. It requires you to stop repeating patterns. It requires you to confront everything inside you that keeps pulling you backward. Growth is the continuous refusal to settle. Growth is the declaration that your future deserves your best, not your leftovers. Growth is the decision to take your life seriously, even when no one else does. There comes a point in your life when you can no longer pretend that the life you're living is the life you want. You can no longer hide behind the excuses that once made you feel safe. You can no longer avoid the mirror. You can no longer pretend you don't know what's holding you back. And deep inside, beneath the noise, beneath the distraction, beneath the fear, you hear a voice that's been whispering for years. A voice that keeps trying to remind you what you're capable of. A voice that keeps telling you that you've been playing small. A voice that keeps pushing you to rise. Some people ignore that voice so long that they forget it ever existed. But if you're reading this, if you're listening to this message, it means that voice inside you is still alive. And it's getting louder. It's demanding that you stop running from your potential and stop becoming the person you were created to be. You can't elevate while living in denial. You cannot grow if you refuse to take responsibility for where you are. You can blame your family. You can blame your past. You can blame your circumstances. You can blame the unfairness of life. You can blame what they did, what they say, what they didn't do. But at the end of the day, blaming doesn't change anything. Blame might make you feel better for a moment, but it won't build the future you want. Blame won't get you the job. Blame won't fix your habits. Blame won't build your business. Blame won't strengthen your discipline. Won't give you the life you dream about. Responsibility is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. There is freedom in responsibility. People think responsibility is heavy, but the weight of excuses is heavier. The weight of regret is heavier. The weight of wasted potential is heavier than anything responsibility ever demanded. Responsibility doesn't imprison you, it frees you. It hands you back the pen. It reminds you that you are the author. It reminds you that your life is not a script someone else wrote. Responsibility allows you to stop waiting and start creating. It allows you to stop hoping and start building. It allows you to stop wishing and start working. If you don't take control of your life, life will take control of you. And life is not gentle when it teaches lessons. Life will break you to wake you. And life will shake you to build you. Life will expose you to push you toward truth or truth. And when life keeps repeating the same lessons over and over, it's not because you're unlucky. It's because you haven't learned what you need to learn to move forward. Every time you run from the lesson, every time you avoid the discomfort, every time you ignore the signs, life will bring you back to the same place until you evolve. You cannot transform your life without transforming your mindset. How you think determines how you live. And too many people sabotage themselves before they even start. They wake up in the morning already defeated. They haven't even tried yet. but they've already convinced themselves they can. They've already rehearsed failure so many times in their mind that they never give success a chance. Yeah. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. The battlefield is not outside, it's inside. The war is not with the world, it's with the beliefs that limit you. Every thought you allow shapes your life. Every doubt you feed weakens you. Every fear you entertain controls you. You're not stuck because you're incapable. You're stuck because you keep telling yourself a story where you lose. You're stuck because you keep repeating narratives that no longer serve you. You're stuck because you're loyal to pain you should have released years ago. You're stuck because you're listening to the voice of fear louder than the voice of possibility. And until you change the story, nothing in your life will change. You have to stop telling yourself that you're not ready. You have to stop telling yourself you're not smart enough, strong enough, disciplined enough. You have to stop convincing yourself that your dreams are too big. If the dream came to you, it came to you for a reason. If the vision found you, it's because you're built to fulfill it. The problem is not the dream. The problem is the doubt. Self-doubt is the thief of destiny. It steals opportunities before you even reach for them. It steals courage before you realize you need it. It steals time because you spend years second-guessing what you should have started long ago. But self-belief is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows when you use it. You don't wake up confident one day. Confidence is built every time you show up. Confidence is built every time you keep a promise to yourself. Confidence is built every time you do something you once feared. Confidence is built every time you decide to try again. Confidence grows through consistency, not perfection. Confidence comes from choosing courage over comfort again and again. You have to reprogram your mind to see challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. You must train yourself to stop running from difficulty. Difficulty is not a sign that you're off track. It's a sign that you're on the right path. Growth requires resistance. You don't get stronger without challenge. You don't get wiser without mistakes. You don't get braver without fear. Every challenge is a gem for your character. Every struggle is training for your destiny. People keep asking for an easy life, but an easy life produces weak people, weak habits, weak discipline, weak dream. You were not created to be weak. You were built for greatness, but greatness is forged through fire, through struggle, through discomfort, through sacrifice. Every great person you admire had to face something hard. They had to overcome something painful. They had to choose growth even when growth hurt. But the problem is that most people want the reward without the resistance. They want the miracle without the mindset. They want progress without pressure. They want the next level without letting go of what's holding them at the current one. And life doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. You cannot carry old habits into new seasons. You cannot bring excuses into a level of excellence. You cannot carry fear into a future built on faith. If you want transformation, you must fight for it. You must fight the urge to give up. Fight the urge to settle. Fight the urge to compare yourself to others. Fight the comfort that whispers, take it easy. Fight the laziness that steals your hours. Fight the impatience that convinces you that progress isn't happening fast enough. You cannot win the war for your dreams unless you are willing to wage war on your old self. The version of you that built your current life cannot build your future life. You must evolve. You must expand. You must reinvent yourself. You cannot stay the same and expect a different outcome. Some of you have potential that could change everything, but you keep recycling the same habits, the same choices, the same routine, and then wonder why nothing improves. You can't get a new life with old patterns. You can't get a new mindset with old thinking. Transformation, not magic. It's choice, daily choice, hard choice, consistent choice, and you need to understand this. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to fix your life. No one is coming to push you out of bed. No one is coming to force you to study, to practice, to make that call, to start that business. No one is coming to drag you into discipline. You must be your own rescue. You must be your own motivation. You must be your own accountability. You must be the one who says enough is enough. Today is the day I change. Stop expecting people to understand your hunger. Stop expecting others to validate your vision. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. People cannot see what you see because the vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. And you are responsible for honoring what you were shown. You are responsible for treating your dream like a mission, not a hobby. You are responsible for feeding your purpose with action. You are responsible for building your future brick by brick, day by day. There will be days when you feel exhausted, days when you feel discouraged, days when you feel like you're not making progress, days when quitting feels easier than continuing. But those are the days that matter most. Anyone can work when they're motivated. Anyone can grind when things are going well. But champions are born in the moments when everything feels heavy and they still push forward. Greatness isn't built on perfect days. It's built on persistent days. Days when you don't feel like it, but you do it anyway. Your future self is watching you. The version of you 5 years from now, the one who made it, the one who elevated, the one who succeeded, is watching the choices you make today. They are begging you not to quit. They are begging you not to slow down. They are begging you to stay disciplined, to stay focused, to stay hungry. Because your future self is living in the results of today's decision. And you can either make that version of yourself proud or leave them disappointed. Every day you wake up, you have a choice. Become the person you were meant to be or continue being the person you've always been. One path is painful, one path is comfortable, but only one path leads to your purpose. Comfort is the enemy of growth. If it feels easy, you're not growing. If it feels familiar, you're not evolving. If it feels safe, you're not stretching yourself. You must seek discomfort. You must chase challenge. You must pursue growth even when it scares you. You must be willing to fail forward. You must be willing to start before you're ready. You must be willing to look foolish while you learn. You must be willing to endure criticism, loneliness, and uncertainty. Because all of these things are signs that you are doing the right thing. There will be people who doubt you, people who laugh at you, people who question your decisions, people who try to hold you back. But their doubt is not your destiny. Their fear is not your responsibility. Their opinions do not build your future. You owe them nothing. You owe your purpose everything. And at some point, you will wake up and realize that every sacrifice was worth it. Every lonely night, every difficult morning, every workout, every long hour, every moment of doubt you pushed through, every fear you faced, every habit you broke, every pattern you changed, every setback that forced you to rise strong. At some point, everything will make sense because you will finally be standing in a life you once prayed for, worked for, pushed for. Your breakthrough is not waiting on luck. It's waiting on discipline. It's waiting on consistency. It's waiting on your decision to stop living life like you have unlimited time. You don't. You have now, and now is enough. There is a point in your life when you have to decide whether you're going to be someone who talks about their dream or someone who actually goes after them. Most people spend their entire lives talking about what they want, but they never take the steps to get it. They sit in the same place, complain about the same problems, dream about the same goals, and wonder why nothing ever changes. And the truth is simple. Nothing changes because they refuse to change. Nothing changes because they keep waiting for a sign, a permission, a moment when the universe decides to give them what they've been asking for. But the universe doesn't give you permission. Life doesn't hand out dreams on silver platters. If you want your dream, you have to chase it with every fiber of your being. You have to wake up before the world does, work harder than the world does, and refuse to quit when the world gives up. You cannot succeed by living at the pace of everyone else. Most people settle for mediocrity because it's easy. They follow the crowd. They do what's safe. They listen to the voice that says, oh, don't risk too much. Don't aim too high. Don't push too far. But when you settle for safety, you settle for smallness. You settle for the life that was handed to you rather than the life you were created to build. And that's why most people never experience their potential. They're trapped in comfort, trapped in convenience, trapped in complacency, trapped in fear. If you want more, you have to be willing to leave comfort behind, to be willing to do the thing nobody else is willing to do. You have to be willing to sacrifice what everyone else keeps because your future is worth it. Discipline is not an option. It is the bridge between desire and accomplishment. You can want something all day, but desire alone will never get you there. Motivation will never sustain you. Inspiration will never pay the bills, finish the projects, or push you to the top. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is consistent. Discipline shows up even when you're tired. Discipline shows up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline shows up when your mind screams or quit, when your body says enough, and when everyone else has given up. Champions are not born. They are built in those moments when discipline overrides discomfort. Most people fail because they are unwilling to pay the price of greatness. They want results without the grind. They want respect without the effort. They want to be known without ever being seen working. They want victory without the pain, without the struggle, without the setbacks. But greatness never comes cheap. Every success story you've ever heard, every millionaire, every entrepreneur, every athlete, every innovator had a season where they worked in silence, when nobody believed in them, when the world ignored them, when the only audience was their own determination. That's the moment that separates the dreamers from the doers. That's the moment that separates the average from the extraordinaire. That's the moment when you decide whether your life is going to be defined by excuses or by results. Excuses are easy. They make you feel like you're okay with being small. They make you feel like life owes you something. They allow you to blame the world for your stagnation. But excuses are lies you tell yourself to avoid growth. Every time you say, I don't have time, I'm too tired, I'll start tomorrow, you're stealing from your future. You're borrowing moments that will never come back. You're giving power to your fears instead of your potential. The truth is, time doesn't owe you anything. Life doesn't owe you anything. You owe yourself everything. And if you want to succeed, you must start believing in yourself when nobody else does. You have to see your future when others only see your present. You have to trust your vision when everyone else is doubting. Because the moment you rely on the approval of others, you give away your power. The moment you need someone else to validate your dreams, you put your life in their hands instead of your own. True success comes from internal belief, from knowing who you are, from refusing to quit no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, no matter how lonely the journey becomes. Obstacles are guaranteed. Failure is inevitable. Rejection is unavoidable. Life will test you in ways you never imagined. People will laugh at you. People will doubt you. People will question your choice, and you will be tempted to quit. You will be tempted to compromise. You will be tempted to settle for less. But every challenge is a lesson. Every rejection is redirection. Every failure is feedback. Every time you choose to rise after falling, every time you push forward when the world pushes back, every time you refuse to give up, you are building a version of yourself capable of handling the success you're destined for. Your environment matters. Your circle matters. The people you surround yourself with can either elevate you or destroy you. Too many people cling to toxic friendships, unmotivated peers, and negative influences because they're comfortable. But comfort does not create champions. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. Surround yourself with people who refuse to let you settle. Surround yourself with people who see your potential before you see it yourself. Your circle is a reflection of your future. If you want a higher life, you need higher people around you. And if you want to reach the next level, you must embrace discomfort. Growth is uncomfortable. Success is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. The version of you that existed yesterday cannot survive in the life you're trying to create tomorrow. You must leave behind old habits, old excuses, old beliefs, old environments, and old people who no longer serve your purpose. Transformation requires sacrifice. Elevation requires pain. And if you're unwilling to endure discomfort, you'll never experience the fullness of what life has in store for you. You must become obsessed with progress, obsessed with excellence, obsessed with the process. Some people are obsessed with the idea of success, but avoid the effort it takes to achieve it. Others are obsessed with the comfort of today, but ignore the potential of tomorrow. To win in life, you must be obsessed with the relentless pursuit of improvement. Wake up thinking about how you can be better than you were yesterday. Go to bed thinking about how you can level up tomorrow. Every action counts. Every decision matters. Every moment is an opportunity to grow or to waste. Obsession with your craft, with your discipline, with your vision is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Fear will show up. Fear will whisper in your ear, you can't do it. You're not ready. You're not enough. It will lie to you every single day. But fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Fear shows you where you need to grow. Fear reveals where your comfort zone ends. Fear is a compass pointing toward your next level. There comes a moment in life when you have to face the truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to hand you what you want. No one is coming to believe in you the way you want them to. No one is going to fix your mistakes or clean up your mess. That's the harsh reality, but it's also the moment when your real power begins. You see, most people spend their entire lives waiting for validation, for encouragement, for permission, for the right moment. But waiting is a trap. Waiting keeps you small. Waiting keeps you stuck. Waiting convinces you that life is happening to you instead of through you. But your breakthrough doesn't come from someone else. It comes from you. It comes from the day you stop asking for help and start demanding results from yourself. Too many people live their lives like passengers instead of drivers. They get in cars, strap in, and let other people steer. They let society, friends, family, teachers, circumstances, luck, and fear decide where they end up, and then wonder why they feel stuck. Wonder why success feels distant. Wonder why happiness feels fleeting. You cannot control the world, but you can control your action. You cannot control how others respond to your efforts, but you can control how consistent you are. You cannot control how long it takes, but you can control whether you quit. And quitting is the enemy of every dream you'll ever have. If you give up when it gets hard, you will never experience what could have been. But if you push through, if you fight, if you refuse to fold, you will discover strength you didn't know existed. Life is not fair. It will not wait for you to be ready. It will not hand out opportunities evenly. People with less talent, less preparation, less discipline often rise faster because they refuse to quit. They are relentless. They are obsessed with moving forward. They are unwilling to be average. And that is the harsh lesson. It's not enough to be good. It's not enough to have potential. Potential does not create results. Effort creates results. Commitment creates results. Consistency creates results. And the moment you realize this, your perspective changes. You no longer wait for luck or timing. You no longer wish for conditions to be perfect. You get up every day and you fight because you know that your life depends on your action. The biggest lie people tell themselves is that it will get easier. Life does not get easier. The challenges just get bigger. The obstacles just get taller. The stakes just rise. And if you want to grow, you must learn to thrive in adversity. You must learn to embrace discomfort. You must learn to welcome struggle. The pain you feel now is not permanent, but the lessons you gain from pushing through are eternal. Greatness is never handed to you on a silver platter. It is earned through endurance, patience, and relentless hustle. Every champion, every leader, every innovator, every person who succeeded against the odds learned to love the grind when no one else was watching. They discovered a hunger inside themselves that could not be silenced by obstacles, fear, or doubt. You will fail. You will make mistakes. You will face rejection. You will feel the sting of betrayal. You will hit walls you didn't see coming. And the moment most people quit is the moment they were about to break through. Success tests your commitment. Failure tests your patience. Rejection tests your resolve. Pain tests your determination. And every time you choose to rise instead of surrender, every time you choose to act instead of freeze, you move closer to the life you dream of. The measure of a person is not how they act when things are easy, but how they respond when everything seems impossible. How you respond in your darkest moments defines the trajectory of your life. Discipline is not a choice. It is a requirement. Motivation will fail you. Inspiration is fleeting. Excitement fades. But discipline endures. Discipline is the muscle that allows you to keep going when you feel like giving up. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And discipline is built through action, through repetition, through refusing to take the easy path. Every time you do what you know you should do, even when you don't feel like it, you grow stronger. Every time you choose long-term gain over short-term comfort, you build resilience. Every time you show up when others sleep, when you grind, when others quit, when you push, when others stop, you become unstoppable. Your environment will either propel you or limit you. Too many people surround themselves with people who are comfortable being average. Too many people stay in situations that drain them. Too many people cling to habits, routines, and mindsets that keep them from evolving. And they wonder why success seems elusive. You must surround yourself with those who challenge you, You must remove those who doubt you. You must create a space where your vision can breathe and grow. Energy is contagious. Its influence is real. And if you're serious about achieving your dreams, you cannot allow anything or anyone to distract you from your path. Fear will always be there. Fear is not your enemy. It is a compass pointing to growth. Fear will whisper, you can't do it. You're not ready. You'll fail. But courage is moving forward despite the fear. Courage is showing up when your body wants to rest, when your mind wants to quit, when your heart feels heavy. Courage is the difference between average and extraordinary. Every time you step into fear, you expand your capacity. Every time you act in spite of doubt, you strengthen your resolve. And every time you refuse to give in to comfort, you move closer to your destiny. Time is not on your side. Every day you wait is a day lost. Every minute you procrastinate is a minute stolen from your future. People think they have unlimited time, but life moves fast. Opportunities pass, seasons change. What you don't do today could be the reason you're stuck tomorrow. Don't waste energy waiting. Don't waste energy hesitating. Don't waste energy comparing yourself to others. The only thing that matters is action. The only thing that matters is consistency. The only thing that matters is refusing to quit. You must embrace failure. Failure is not defeat, it's feedback. Failure is the classroom of the champion. Failure teaches patience. Failure teaches strategy. Failure teaches resilience. Every time you fall, you gain knowledge. Every time you stumble, you gain clarity. Every time you stumble, you gain clarity. Every time you get rejected, you gain perspective. And every time you rise, you get stronger. If you avoid failure, you avoid growth. If you avoid risk, you avoid greatness. And if you avoid challenge, you avoid the person you were designed to become. You have to fight for your future every day. You have to refuse to let distractions steal your time. You have to refuse to let excuses steal your energy. You have to refuse to let comfort steal your potential. Every decision you make compounds over time. Every small action you take either moves you forward or holds you back. Consistency compounds like money in the bank. Discipline compounds like interest on your dreams. Focus compounds like fuel in a rocket. And if you can master the art of consistent, relentless action, nothing in life will be able to stop you. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for permission. Stop asking for validation. Stop believing that life will hand you what you want. You are responsible for your own success. You are responsible for your own grind. You are responsible for your own future. The universe will give you challenges, but it will not do the work for you. People will doubt you, but they will not carry you. Life will test you, but it will not save you. You are the one who must rise. You are the one who must push. You are the one who must fight. You are the one who must show up every single day. Persistence, everything. Persistence beats talent when talent quits. Persistence beats luck when luck disappears. Persistence beats motivation when motivation fades. And persistence is built by refusing to give in, refusing to accept mediocrity, refusing to accept excuses, refusing to let fear control you, refusing to quit. The person who never gives up is the person who wins. The person who keeps grinding is the person who succeeds. The person who shows up every day, no matter what, is the person who becomes unstoppable. And here's the truth. Greatness is not reserved for a select few. Greatness is available to anyone willing to work for it, willing to sacrifice for it, willing to endure for it, willing to fight for it. The only thing standing between you and your dream is the action you have not taken. The only thing standing between you and your future is the effort you have not given. You can't wish your way there. You can't pray your way there. You can't dream your way there. You must work. You must grind. You must push. You must sacrifice. And you must never, ever give up. Life will test you. Life will push you. Life will try to break you. And the only way to survive and thrive is to understand that the moment you quit is the moment you lose everything. Too many people walk around waiting for the right circumstances, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for someone else to show up and do for them what they were born to do for themselves. But life doesn't work that way. You will not find permission outside of yourself. Well, you will not find motivation outside of yourself. You will not find discipline outside of yourself. The only way to rise is to take responsibility. The only way to elevate is to push when it hurts, to grind when it's inconvenient, and to fight when everyone else would surrender. When everyone else would surrender. That's the reality of success. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you start moving. Every successful person you admire faced adversity. Every person who reached greatness walked through fire. Every champion, every entrepreneur, every leader, every innovator had moments where quitting would have been easier, where the pain would have seemed unbearable, where giving up would have felt like relief. But they refused. They understood that life will not hand you what you want. It will only hand you what you earn. And the price of success is relentless action, unshakable faith, and a refusal to let temporary discomfort dictate your future. You cannot outsource greatness. You cannot borrow courage. You cannot rent determination. You must generate it within yourself daily, consistently, without compromise. Pain is unavoidable. Struggle is inevitable. Obstacles are guaranteed. And yet, most people act surprised when life throws challenges their way. They act shocked when their dreams seem far away. They act frustrated when they encounter resistance. But resistance is the evidence that you are on the right path. Pain is the price of progress. Struggle is the gateway to growth. If you want to reach the next level, you must embrace the discomfort. You must welcome the challenges. You must learn to thrive in situations that seem impossible. That is where your character is built. That is where your discipline is forged. That is where your greatness emerges. Excuses are the enemy of progress. People will give you thousands of reasons why you can't. They will tell you you're too young, too old, too inexperienced, too weak, too small, too late, too early. And if you believe them, you will stay exactly where you are. Excuses are the lies your mind tells to avoid growth. Excuses are the chains that keep you trapped in mediocrity. And the truth is, nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody owes you understanding. Nobody is going to hand you a trophy for trying. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards results. It rewards persistence. It rewards courage. It rewards relentless action. And if you want it, you have to take it every day over and over again. Discipline is not a suggestion. It is a requirement. Motivation will fail you. Passion will fade. Inspiration is fleeting. Discipline is what carries you when everything else is gone. Discipline is showing up when you don't feel like it. Discipline is grinding when nobody is watching. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when it hurts, even when it's inconvenient, even when you're tired, even when you've been knocked down. The moment you stop depending on feelings to fuel your actions and start depending on discipline, that is when you become unstoppable. That is when you become serious about your life. That's when you start playing at a level most people will never reach. Your environment is crucial. The people around you will either lift you or weigh you down. Too many people stay in toxic situations, cling to negative relationships, and tolerate distractions because it's comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you want to rise, you must surround yourself with people who challenge you, push you, and hold you accountable. You must remove those who drain your energy, discourage your vision, or make mediocrity acceptable. Your circle is a reflection of your future. The quality of the people you allow in your life will determine the height of your potential. Choose wisely. Protect your energy, protect your vision, protect your grind. Fear will always be present. Fear will whisper that you're not enough, that you can't do it, that failure is inevitable. And yet fear is also a guide. Fear is pointing toward the areas where growth is necessary. Fear is signaling that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Fear is a companion on the path to success, not a barrier. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting in spite of it. And if you want to win in life, you must develop the ability to move forward even when fear screams to stop. You must embrace it, push through it, and use it to fuel your ambition. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey. Every time you fail, you gain information. Every time you fall, you learn something. Every setback is a setup for a comeback if you allow it. Failure is a test of your resilience, your patience, and your commitment. And the moment most people quit is the moment they were about to break through. You cannot afford to quit when things get hard. You cannot afford to stop when the world is testing you. You cannot afford to let temporary discomfort rob you of your destiny. Every setback, every obstacle, every no is preparing you for the greatness that is waiting on the other side. You must embrace consistency, Consistency is the compound interest of effort. Small actions done repeatedly over time create massive results. Showing up every day doing the work and refusing to quit will create momentum. Momentum is the fuel that keeps you moving when motivation fades. And the people who succeed are not the ones with the most talent. They are the ones with the most consistency, the most persistence, and the most endurance. If you can master consistency, you can master your life. If you can master daily action, you can master your destiny. Your dreams will not chase themselves. Your goals will not achieve themselves. Your future will not build itself. Only you can take the necessary steps. Only you can show up. Only you can push through. The world will not hand you what you want. Opportunities don't knock, they are created. Doors don't open themselves, they are broken down by those willing to fight. Your life is the sum of your choices, your actions, and your persistence. You are the architect of your destiny. You are the driver of your success. You are responsible for your future. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop asking for permission. Stop believing that someone else will do the work for you. You are the only one who can. You are the only one who will. You are the only one with the power to take your dreams and turn them into reality. And the moment you accept that truth, the moment you stop blaming, complaining, and hesitating, the moment you start taking action consistently, that is when your life will change forever. Obstacles will come, challenges will arise. Disappointment will. People will doubt you. People will laugh at you. People will try to stop you. But none of that matters. None of it has the power to stop you unless you allow it. Your results depend on how hard you are willing to work when the world is working against you. Your results depend on how committed you are when others quit. Your results depend on how consistent you are when motivation disappears. Greatness is not given, it is earned. It is earned one decision at a time, one action at a time, one day at a time. Persistence is everything. Talent will fail without it. Luck will fail without it. Opportunity will fail without it. Persistence is the secret weapon of champion. Persistence is what turns dreams into reality. Persistence is what allows you to rise above doubt, fear, and distraction. And the moment you refuse to quit, the moment you refuse to settle, the moment you push through the pain, that is when you become unstoppable. That is when you become relentless. That is when you become a force to be reckoned with. Stop whining. Stop complaining. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming the past. Stop waiting for someone else to fix your life. Stop hoping for a miracle. The miracle is not out there. It is inside you. The power to change, to grow, to succeed, to dominate is inside you. But it will not manifest on its own. You must awaken it. You must feed it. You must train it. You must fight for it. And the moment you accept that responsibility, the moment you step up and refuse to settle, the moment you act with discipline and consistency, you begin the journey toward the life you were meant to live. Your breakthrough is not in luck. Your breakthrough is not in timing. Your breakthrough is in effort, persistence, discipline, and courage. Your breakthrough is the result of showing up day after day, even when it hurts. Your breakthrough is earned through struggle. Your breakthrough is forged in sacrifice. Your breakthrough is built on the moments when most people quit. And if you commit to showing up, committing to the grind, and refusing to give up, your breakthrough is inevitable. The only question is whether you will step up and claim it, or whether you will let life pass you by. There comes a moment in your life when you have to decide whether you are going to be a victim of your circumstances or a victor in your own story. Too many people go through life blaming everything and everyone for where they are. Oh, they blame their parents, their teachers, the system, the economy, the weather, their boss, their spouse, their friends, their past. And in doing so, they remain stuck. They remain powerless. They remain average. Excuses are easy, but they do not change your life. Excuses do not produce results. Excuses do not bring you closer to your dreams. Excuses are the chains that keep you trapped in mediocrity, whispering lies that make you feel safe, but rob you of your potential. And the truth is, the moment you stop blaming and start taking responsibility, the moment you stop waiting and start acting, the moment you stop whining and start pushing, is the moment your life begins to change. You have to understand that no one is coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you success. Nobody's going to wake you up in the morning and give you discipline. Nobody's going to push you through the hard days or make the sacrifices for you. The life you want is not going to be given. It will be earned. And earning it requires pain, endurance, sacrifice, and consistency. It requires you to get up when the world says rest. It requires you to grind when others sleep. It requires you to show up when motivation fades, when energy is low, and when everything inside of you is screaming to quit. That's what separates the average from the extraordinary. That's what separates dreamers from doers. That is what separates those who talk about their potential from those who live it. Discipline is not optional. It's not a suggestion. It is a necessity. You can have talent, but without discipline, talent will fail. You can have opportunity, but without discipline, opportunity will be wasted. You can have intelligence, but without discipline, knowledge will not become action. Discipline is what bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Discipline is showing up even when it's inconvenient. Discipline is pushing through when it's uncomfortable. Discipline is doing what you need to do, not what you feel like doing. And the moment you embrace discipline as a lifestyle rather than a chore, that is when you become unstoppable. That is when results start to compound. That is when your grind starts to pay off in ways that others cannot even imagine. You cannot wait for motivation to carry you. Motivation is fleeting. Inspiration comes and goes, feeling like it is not a strategy. It is a luxury. The people who succeed are not the ones who feel like it. They are the ones who act despite it. The people who win are not the ones who are inspired. They are the ones who create their own inspiration through action, showing up when you don't feel like it, grinding when it's hard, sacrificing comfort for progress. That's the reality of achievement. That is the reality of greatness. And if you want to reach a level that most people only dream of, you must act every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Fear is going to be there. Fear will try to stop you at every turn. Fear will whisper lies that keep you from stepping into your potential. Fear will tell you that you are not ready, that you are not enough, that you will fail. And if you listen, fear will control your life. But the truth is that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Fear is pointing to a growth. Fear is telling you where you need to step up, where you need to push harder, and where you need to elevate. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite it. Courage is acting when your body says rest, when your mind says quit, and when the world says it's impossible. And the people who change their lives, the people who dominate their fields, the people who reach greatness are the ones who choose courage day after day. Failure is not defeat. It's feedback. Every failure teaches you something. Every mistake shows you a new path. Every setback is an opportunity to come back stronger, smarter, and more determined than before. And the people who succeed are the ones who fail forward. They use every no, every rejection, every obstacle as fuel. They do not let it break them. They let it build them. They do not let it stop them. They let it drive them. And the difference between those who quit and those who succeed is simply persistence. The willingness to keep pushing when the world is against you, when circumstances are tough, when the odds are stacked, when nobody believes in you. This is what separates winners from everyone else. Your environment will either lift you or limit you. The people you surround yourself with, the places you spend your time, and the habits you adopt all influence your trajectory. If you want to rise, you must surround yourself with those who challenge you, inspire you, and push you toward your vision. You must remove those who doubt you, drain your energy, and distract you from your purpose. Your circle determines your altitude. Your habits determine your results. Your environment determines your mindset. Protect it, guard it, curate it. Because if you don't, you will be a reflection of mediocrity instead of a reflection of your potential. Consistency compound. Small, deliberate actions taken repeatedly over time create massive results. Showing up every day, putting in the work, and refusing to quit is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Consistency beats talent when talent quits. Consistency beats luck when luck disappears. Consistency beats opportunity when opportunity fades. And the people who reach their dreams are the ones who understand that the long game is what matters. They understand that progress is built one day at a time, one choice at a time, one action at a time. There's no shortcut. There's no magic. There is no luck. There is only consistent, relentless effort. You must embrace sacrifice. You cannot keep everything you want if you are not willing to let go of some things you have. You cannot reach your full potential if you continue to indulge comfort, convenience, and mediocrity. Sacrifice is temporary, but the reward is permanent. Sacrifice is giving up short-term pleasure for long-term gain. Sacrifice is staying up when others sleep. Sacrifice is saying a no to distraction so you can say yeah. Sacrifice is uncomfortable, but greatness is not comfortable. Every success story is filled with moments where someone chose pain over ease, progress over pleasure, and discipline over desire. And if you want the life you dream about, you must be willing to pay the price that most people refuse to pay. Your future is watching you right now. The version of you 5, 10, 15 years from now, the one living your dreams, achieving your goals, and becoming everything you were meant to be, is waiting to see what you will do today. Every choice you make, every habit you adopt, every action you take is shaping that future. The small decisions compound, the daily disciplines accumulate, the consistent effort over time becomes result. And if you waste time, delay action, or give in to fear, your future self suffers. But if you rise up, show up, and push forward today, your future self will thank you. Your destiny is not a mystery. It is a reflection of what you choose to do in this very moment. Stop whining. Stop complaining. Stop looking for excuses. Stop blaming the past. Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission. Stop hoping for a miracle. The power to change, the power to grow, the power to succeed, the power to dominate your life is inside you. It is always inside you, but it will not activate on its own. You must awaken it. You must nurture it. You must challenge it. You must feed it with relentless effort, unshakable discipline, and unwavering focus. And the moment you accept that responsibility, the moment you step up and refuse to settle, the moment you take consistent action toward your vision, that is the moment your life begins to change. Obstacles are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. Challenges are not punishments. They are opportunities. Pain is not a signal to stop. It is a signal to push. Every hardship, every struggle, every difficulty is shaping you, teaching you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the greatness you are destined to achieve. Those who succeed understand this. Those who quit do not. And the difference is simple: persistence, endurance, and a refusal to give up. The person who refuses to quit will always find a way. The person who keeps grinding will always rise. The person who keeps pushing will always win. Your breakthrough is not waiting for luck. Your breakthrough is not waiting for timing. Your breakthrough is not waiting for someone else. Your breakthrough is the result of relentless action, unshakable faith, and unwavering determination. It is the product of showing up every day, putting in the work, and refusing to quit. It is the reward for discipline, sacrifice, and consistency. And if you commit to the grind, if you embrace the struggle, if you refuse to settle, your breakthrough is inevitable. The only question is, will you rise and claim it, or will you let it pass you by? There's a point in your life when you have to stop blaming circumstances and start taking responsibility for your destiny. Too many people live in a state of complaint, always pointing fingers, always wondering why life is unfair, always thinking that someone or something else is standing in the way of their success. And while it may feel comforting to blame your environment, your upbringing, your education, or your past mistakes, the reality is simple. Your life will not change until you decide to change. You have to stop waiting for the perfect opportunity, for the right conditions, for someone else to hand you permission. The moment you take full ownership of your actions, your decisions, and your discipline, that is the moment transformation begins. The moment you push past excuses, that is when you start creating results. The moment you rise while others rest, that is when greatness becomes possible. Most people fail because they are unwilling to pay the price. They want success without the grind. They want victory without the struggle. They want recognition without the work. And they want results without the discipline. But life doesn't work that way. Dreams do not manifest magically. Goals do not achieve themselves. Talent alone is not enough. Opportunity will not wait. And waiting for someone to validate your worth will only keep you in mediocrity. The path to success is paved with effort, consistency, sacrifice, and an unrelenting refusal to quit. If you want to be exceptional, you must embrace the grind, even when it is painful, even when it is lonely, even when it seems like nobody is watching. Discipline is your bridge between desire and results. You can want something all day long, but desire alone will not move you forward. Motivation is fleeting. Inspiration comes and goes. Feelings are unreliable. What sustains winners, what sustains champions, what sustains the people who achieve extraordinary things is discipline. Discipline is getting up when your body says sleep. Discipline is grinding when your mind screams stop. Discipline is doing the work when no one else believes it will make a difference. Discipline is consistency, and consistency compounds. Every small action taken repeatedly, every sacrifice made daily, every time you choose effort over comfort builds the momentum that leads to achievement. Without discipline, your dreams remain wishes and your potential remains untapped. Fear will always be present. Fear will whisper lies in your ear. You are not ready. You cannot do this. You will fail. And if you let fear control you, it will paralyze you. It will limit you. It will keep you small. But fear is also fear is a sign that you are stepping into growth. Fear is a signal that you are moving out of your comfort zone and into your destiny. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting in spite of fear. Courage is getting up when the world tells you to quit. Courage is pushing when every part of your body wants to stop. Courage is doing what most people will not, even when it is difficult, inconvenient, or uncomfortable. And every time you choose courage over comfort, you expand your capacity to achieve greatness. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. Every failure is feedback. Every setback is a lesson. Every mistake teaches you what to adjust, how to improve, and what to try differently next time. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is not that they never fail. It is that they refuse to stay down. They rise every time they fall. They persist when others give up. They see obstacles as opportunities, resistance as a challenge to grow stronger, and pain as a stepping stone to victory. And the most successful people in history are not those who avoided failure. They are those who embraced it, learned from it, kept moving forward when the rest of the world would have stopped. Your environment determines your altitude. The people around you, the places you frequent, the habits you maintain, these shape your mindset and dictate your trajectory. If you surround yourself with negativity, excuses, and complacency, you will adopt those same patterns. If you tolerate distraction, mediocrity, and lack of accountability, your potential will be limited. But if you surround yourself with excellence, challenge, and vision, you will be lifted. You will be held accountable. You will be inspired. The quality of your circle determines the ceiling of your success. Protect it, curate it, choose it wisely, because who you allow into your life today will either elevate you or keep you trapped where you are. Time is the most valuable resource you have, yet most people waste it waiting. They wait for motivation. They wait for permission. They wait for someone else to show them the way. They wait for the right circumstances. But there is no perfect moment. There is no guaranteed timing. Time moves regardless of your hesitation. Every minute you waste is a minute you can never get back. Every second you delay action is a second your competition uses to move ahead. If you want success, you must act now. You must maximize every moment, make every day count, and refuse to let procrastination rob you of potential. Success is a decision made daily, a choice to act when others hesitate, a commitment to persist when others pause. Consistency is your secret weapon. Small, deliberate actions compounded over time create extraordinary results. Showing up every day doing the work and refusing to quit is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Talent without consistency will fail. Opportunity without consistency will be wasted. Motivation without consistency is temporary. But the consistent individual, the person who refuses to rest on yesterday's accomplishments and continues to push forward every single day, that person becomes unstoppable. That person accumulates advantage after advantage, moment after moment, choice after choice, until no one can catch the choice, until no one can catch them. The compounding effect of daily effort is the true measure of achievement. Sacrifice is necessary. You cannot keep everything you have and reach the next level. You cannot indulge comfort and achieve greatness at the same time. You cannot chase big dreams and cling to mediocrity. Sacrifice is giving up short-term pleasure for long-term gain. Sacrifice is saying no to distraction. Yes to focus. Yes to hard work. And yes to discomfort. Sacrifice is staying up when others sleep, practicing when others rest, and preparing when others play. And while sacrifice is difficult, it is temporary. The results it produces, freedom, success, respect, and personal fulfillment, are lasting. Those who are unwilling to sacrifice will never see the life they dream of. Those who embrace it will. Obstacles will come, but they are not there to stop you. They are there to test you. Challenges will appear, but they are not punishments. They are lessons. Insistence will rise, but it is not a signal to quit. It is a call to grow. Every obstacle, every difficulty, every challenge you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstances. And the people who succeed are not the ones who never face resistance. They are the ones who push through it, the ones who adapt, the ones who refuse to let setbacks define them. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. The bigger the struggle, the greater the triumph. And the longer you persist when it seems impossible, the more unstoppable you become. Your dreams are waiting, but they will not chase themselves. Your goals will not achieve themselves. Your future will not create itself. Only you can make it happen. Only you can do the work. Only you can grind when no one is watching. Only you can push through when it hurts, when it's uncomfortable, and when everyone else has given up. The world will not hand you what you want. It will only respond to the effort you put in. And if you want to live a life that exceeds expectation, a life that others can only admire, you must be relentless, committed, and consistent. You must refuse to quit, refuse to settle, and refuse to wait for someone else to make it happen. Stop whining, stop blaming, stop hoping that life will be easy. Stop waiting for motivation to arrive. Stop relying on others to push you. The power to change, the power to grow, the power to succeed, the power to dominate your life is inside you. It has always been inside you. It has always been inside you. But it will not activate without action. It will not manifest without effort. It will not grow without discipline. And the moment you take full responsibility, the moment you embrace sacrifice, the moment you push past fear, the moment you act consistently, that is the moment your life begins to transform. Persistence is everything. Talent fails without it. Opportunity fades without it. Luck disappears without it. Only persistence produces results that last. Persistence allows you to rise after failure. Persistence allows you to keep moving when others pause. Persistence allows you to keep grinding when others quit. And the difference between those who live ordinary lives and those who achieve greatness is simply persistence. The willingness to push, to fight, to work, and to refuse to stop no matter what obstacles appear. The life you want is not waiting for you to stumble into it. It is waiting for you to fight for it, to earn it, to push for it every single day. It is waiting for you to show up consistently, to embrace discomfort, to refuse mediocrity, and to grind relentlessly until your vision becomes reality. Your future is a reflection of your choices today, your habits today, and your action today. And if you commit to taking responsibility, if you commit to embracing discipline, if you commit to pushing through fear, failure, and setbacks, nothing in life can stop you. Greatness is yours for the taking, but only if you act out. There comes a point in life when you have to decide if you are going to remain a spectator or step into your greatness. Too many people spend their lives watching, waiting, and hoping that success will come to them. Wow. They blame circumstances, blame other people, blame the economy, blame their past, and in doing so, they remain trapped in mediocrity. But the harsh truth is this: no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your dreams. No one is going to motivate you every day. You cannot rely on luck, timing, or someone else's approval. Your life is your responsibility. Your actions determine your future. Your persistence shapes your destiny. If you want change, you must create it. If you want success, you must pursue it relentlessly. If you want greatness, you must push when everyone else is resting. Most people quit too soon. They fail to understand that life is a test, a series of challenges designed to separate the average from the extraordinary. The moment you feel like giving up, the moment you encounter resistance, the moment the pain feels unbearable, that is when champions are made. The people who reach their goals are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who continue despite the struggle. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They do not wait for permission. They do not wait for motivation. They act, they push, they grind, they sacrifice. And that is the difference between those who live ordinary lives and those who achieve extraordinary results. You will never be able to outsource your greatness. You cannot borrow discipline. You cannot rent determination. You must generate it from within. Every single day, discipline is not a suggestion. It is a requirement. Talent without discipline will fail. Opportunity without discipline is wasted. Desire without discipline produces nothing. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Discipline is showing up even when your body says rest. Discipline is grinding when your mind says quit. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when it is inconvenient, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it is difficult. And the people who master discipline are the people who master their lives. They understand that effort compound. They understand that consistency is more powerful than talent. They understand that greatness is earned, not given. And they show up every day, rain or shine, tired or energized, motivated or not, because they know their action, not feelings, determines their results. Fear will always be there. Fear will whisper that you are not ready. Fear will tell you that you will fail. Fear will tempt you to quit. But fear is not a stop sign, it is a signal. Fear points to areas where growth is required. Fear is the reminder that you are stepping out of your comfort zone. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in spite of fear. Courage is rising when your body wants to rest. Courage is pushing when your mind says stop. Courage is doing what most people refuse to do because it is hard, uncomfortable, and inconvenient. And the people who achieve greatness do not act when it is easy. They act when it is hard. They act when it hurts. They act when no one else will. That is how champions are born. That is how legacies are created. Failure is inevitable. Rejection is unavoidable. Mistakes will happen. But the measure of a person is not in the number of times they fall. It is in the number of times they rise. Failure is feedback. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and improve. Every rejection is a chance to get closer to the right path. Every mistake is a lesson that sharpens your strategy. The people who succeed are the ones who fail forward. They use their failures as fuel. They use their setbacks as motivation. They use their pain as a driving force to push harder, grind longer, and endure more. And the moment most people quit is the moment they were on the brink of a breakthrough. That is the harsh reality. That is the truth you must accept if you want to win. Your environment will either propel you or limit you. The people you associate with, the places you spend your time, the habits you maintain, these will shape your mindset and dictate your trajectory. Surround yourself with negative influences, with people who doubt you, with environments that encourage complacency, and you will mirror their energy. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, who elevate you, who inspire you to push beyond your limits, and your potential will expand. Your circle determines your altitude. Your habits determine your results. Your environment dictates your mindset. Protect it, curate it, and surround yourself with excellence, because mediocrity will drag you down if you allow it. Time is relentless. It waits for no one. Every day wasted is a day lost forever. Every minute spent hesitating is a minute stolen from your potential. The people who succeed understand the value of time. They understand that every second counts. That procrastination is the thief of dreams, and that waiting for motivation or inspiration is a trap. They act now. They maximize every moment. They make every day a stepping stone toward their goals. And they understand that the small choices repeated consistently over time create massive results. Time is neutral, but how you use it determines your success. Consistency compounds. Small, deliberate action performed repeatedly over time create extraordinary results. Showing up every day, doing the work, and refusing to quit transforms ordinary people into exceptional achievers. Talent without consistency will fade. Opportunity without consistency will vanish. Motivation without consistency will disappear. But the consistent person, the one who refuses to rest on yesterday's victories, the one who keeps pushing when others pause, the one who keeps grinding when others quit, that person becomes unstoppable. That person accumulates advantage after advantage until their results speak louder than words. That person reaches levels of success that others can only dream of. Sacrifice is required. You cannot chase greatness without letting go of comfort. You cannot build a legacy while indulging in convenience. You cannot reach the next level without making tough decisions, without giving up temporary pleasure for long-term gain, and without prioritizing your vision above your immediate desires. Sacrifice is uncomfortable, but the reward is eternal. It is the price of freedom, the cost of success, and the gateway to fulfillment. Those unwilling to sacrifice will never reach their potential. Those who embrace it will live a life of abundance, influence, and impact. Obstacles are inevitable. Challenges will arise. Pain will strike. But these are not punishments. They are tests. Resistance is a sign that you are on the right path. Hardship is an opportunity to strengthen your resolve. Every struggle, every difficulty, every no, every rejection is preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. Those who succeed are not those who never face adversity. They are those who persist despite it. They adapt, they endure, and they rise. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. The bigger the struggle, the greater the triumph. And the longer you persist when it seems impossible, the more unstoppable you become. Your dreams will not chase themselves. Your goals will not achieve themselves. Your future will not create itself. Only you can make it happen. Only you can do the work. Only you can push when it hurts, grind when it's uncomfortable, and endure when everyone else quits. The world does not hand out success. It rewards persistence. It rewards courage. And the life you desire will only materialize when you commit, act, and push without hesitation. Your destiny is in your hands. Your greatness is in your hands. Your future is in your hands. Stop whining. Stop blaming. Stop hoping that life will be easy. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop looking for someone to save you. The power to change, the power to grow, the power to achieve, the power to dominate your life is already inside you. It has always been inside you. But it will not activate without action. It will not grow without discipline. It will not manifest without effort. And the moment you take full responsibility, embrace sacrifice, push past fear, and act consistently, that is the moment your life begins to transform. That is when your breakthrough becomes inevitable. That is when you stop being ordinary and start living extraordinary. Persistence, everything. Talent fails without it. Opportunity fades without it. Luck disappears without it. Only persistence produces results. Persistence allows you to rise after failure. Persistence allows you to keep moving when others pause. Persistence allows you to keep grinding when others quit. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is persistence. The refusal to stop, the refusal to settle, and the refusal to give up no matter what obstacles appear. The person who persists will always find a way. The person who refuses to quit will always rise. The person who keeps pushing will always win. Greatness is not waiting. It is earned, fought for, and claimed by those who refuse to quit. The life you dream of is not waiting for you to stumble into it. It is waiting for you to fight for it, earn it, and claim it with relentless effort, unshakable discipline, and unwavering commitment. Your future is shaped by the choices you make today. Your results are determined by the actions you take consistently. And if you commit to showing up, embracing discomfort, pushing past fear, and refusing to quit, nothing in life can stop you. Greatness is yours for the taking, but only if you step up and claim it.